you. We are absolutely excited. I'm totally pumped, to be honest with you. Not just because I just came back from working out, but because having the privilege of being on a hangout where there's almost 2,000 people right now. We've got 1,736 people that have come onto the call, and usually there's about 2,300 to 2,500 people that end up attending these weekly hangouts. Now, we have a lot of different people that have come. Some people are brand new. Some people are seasoned veterans. And tonight's going to be a very, very special night because, there's a lot of different things that we've experienced throughout our careers, throughout our business, throughout our lives. And, tonight, I had a very unique experience. And I'm going to actually get to that in a second because we have some amazing people that are on the line right now. We've got Darren Hanser, who is right next to me on the Hangout. We've got Aaron Pataski, who is just on the other side of Darren. Then we have Alex Zubarev, who is at the very end. And we might have some other people popping on a little bit later. But one of the biggest things that I've discovered over the course of the last few years is there's 9 principal secrets that I've discovered that has led to some of my success. Now, one of the things that I really want to encourage you to do is listen up, pay attention, because this is going to be a little bit different than normal. Some of the things that we're actually going to be talking about tonight, it's going to be kind of an interactive type of deal. So right now, what I want you to do is I want you to, if you're brand new to this, you notice there's a little comment section. Well, you have to log into that. You have to set up an actual, a username, basically. If you've never done this before, you can log into that and you can comment. Now, first off, I want to make sure that everybody can hear us okay and everybody is good and you're excited and pumped. Why don't you type in yes in the comments just to make sure that we're good and everybody can hear us, and we'll continue, okay? Are we live? Kind of an interactive. Well, maybe there's a little bit of a hangout. Can you guys hear me okay? You can hear us? Okay. Well, it looks like we're not getting anybody. Nobody is commenting here. Maybe I might need to refresh my browser.
Might just have to call it a night.
I see tons of comments rolling on my screen. So.
Oh, do you?
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe. Oh, there we go. I just refreshed my browser. That was the problem. So my problem. All right, we are good, guys. Okay. Now, one of these things that we really want to do is, when you hear some different things that have happened throughout the course of everybody's history. I mean, every single person on this call, they have some unbelievable things that have happened to them. For me, for example, I went from $25 basically broke in my bank account almost 4 years ago, and today I live a laptop lifestyle. I'm going on celebrating my full year in corporate retirement, and I've built a 6-figure income. Okay, now when you're able to do something like that, some of the times some people might think, oh my gosh, that's incredible, and it is. And official income disclaimer, we're going to be throwing out incomes tonight, guys. Some of the things you might think are just unbelievable. You wait till you hear some of the numbers that one of our panelists here has been able to achieve, and we're going to do a very, very interactive type of hangout tonight. So one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the time over to Miss Andy Pataski, but first, before I turn the time over to her, here's what I want you to do, because Andy is an amazing woman. First off, she's a mother of 2. She has actually I'm going to pull over something. Here's what I want you to do. In the upper right corner of the video, like you've got the video screen, right? In the upper right corner, there's a Facebook button. I want you to click that Facebook button, or you can actually, I'm just going to paste this in here, and you can use this comment. What I want you to do is I want you to grab that comment, okay? And I want you to put that into Facebook. Actually, click on that blue Facebook button. Another window will pop open, And you're going to be hearing from Andi Ptaski because she's got an incredible history. One of the things that she's been able to do is generate. Well, I'm not gonna steal your thunder, Andi, because you've got some amazing talent, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn the time over to Andi. And Andi, you've got some secret strategies and some secret things that you're going to be sharing with us. Go ahead, Andi. Andi, are you there? Well, it looks like Andi must have dropped off. So until we get Andi back, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to bounce this back over. Isn't technical abilities really fun? Now, this is a good lesson in one of the principles to success is, things will happen, guys. Things will always mess up. This is technology, and we're human beings, right? Sometimes I remember when I first got started, I didn't even know what a blog was. So anybody who out there right now who's watching this, if you're brand new, you're like, I don't even know what the hell a blog was, right? If you're sitting there, I didn't even know what YouTube was about 5 years ago, okay? I thought it was something you actually did to your car, YouTube it. Seriously, though. But one of the things that you really want to pay attention to is that you don't have to know everything, and you just roll with the flow and you roll with the punches. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to my main man, Darren, the white chocolate himself, Hanser.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me. Anyway, guys, if you're out there, I mean, this is interesting because technology is something that I've embraced over the years, and I'm one of the guys that what am I, 33 right now, right? So I had a pager when I was in grade 9, right? So that's how we communicated. I had cell phones, one of those brick phones. We would carry to the mall. Literally, you had to carry it around with a separate. You had to have a wagon to carry your cell phone. And now basically I operate my business from my phone, and that's just the way that it's been. I basically on my phone, chatting, sending emails, just doing what needs to happen straight from my pocket wherever I am in the world. And the coolest thing about this is that what we're also going to share with you a little bit about what's coming out. Maybe I don't know if Scott will talk about that, but there's some changes happening online where you can literally operate your business from your pocket, and you can communicate with people just literally at the push of a button, and it's so simple and easy that literally anyone can do this. And we're probably going to talk about that a little later. Not sure if we're going to talk about more detail, but I think it's something that I get asked a lot. Can I run a business from my phone? I have an iPad, I have a smartphone. Can I do that? Do I have to have all these computer programs? Do I have to have all this technological crap to run a business? And the fact of the matter is you can, and it's actually becoming much easier over the next course of the next few months. So we're talking about the 9 secret principles to unlock your unlimited success. Now it's interesting because I was talking with Scott today, and he said, what was it that kind of allowed you to kind of create success, whether it was online, offline, in your life, whatever it is. And to be quite honest with you, it was never the technical stuff. And I always got bombarded with, I always saw myself as like a technical guy, right? Where that's what I do during the days, right? In my corporate life, that's what I do. I'm a technical guy. I do analysis, I do planning, I do spreadsheets, and I create stuff, and I make things that are complicated look simple, and that's basically what I do for a living. I make things that are complicated appear simple to the everyday person, and we explain very complex ideas in very simple terms. And to be quite honest with you, what I do during the day is exactly what we do here, where there's a lot of different moving parts to running a business, but ultimately what we do and what you can do when you learn how to do what we do, if that makes sense, I've said do a lot, is basically just simplify your life and allow that to be the power that you bring. It's just complete simplicity, and that ultimately has become something that has allowed me to have success because for years, I've been online for a couple of years now, and it literally hasn't been until the last few months that there's been any sort of real momentum happening, because every time I would reach that idea that this is going to be that next big thing, I would get bombarded in all the learning, all the stuff, all the tools and techniques, and I have to have everything perfect before I get started. And what really happened once I connected to the community inside of the Prosperity team, I actually simplified my life. I simplified everything to follow systems that are built by people who know what they're doing when they're building systems. They know how to explain complex planning in very simple terms. They understand the process of marketing. They understand the process of having someone get started in your business and have a step-by-step process to go through. That's not a 13-step process. Really 4 steps, follow them, and you're literally marketing within the day. Okay, so that's basically what I was looking for personally in my life, because I work full time. I have 2 kids. I have a wife, and I don't want to spend my time learning how to be an engineer, okay, of the internet. That's not what I want to spend my time doing. I want to spend my time connecting with, motivating, and inspiring people. And if I can do that and also earn income that rivals my full-time job, okay, and do it from my phone through video and through spending time with people who are having the same vision going forward, if I can do that, then I found something that I'm proud to share with others, right? And that's what it's about for me. It's about connecting, inspiring, and really tapping into what I really love doing. And to be quite honest with you, I don't love building things and being all technical. I love communicating with people in a way that allows me to also have freedom in my life and create freedom in other people's lives. That's what I love to do. And this community has actually given me a platform to do that. I'm able to help people in our community communicate with the people that they want to join their business. And I've been able to do that. And it's unbelievable that when you really dig deep and find what you love to do, you can actually profit from your passions. You can profit from your passions, and it doesn't. And it sounds kind of like hokey or whatever it is, but it's true. And it can be done. And we're doing it on a daily basis. People are doing it on a daily basis, and you can do it. The only missing piece, the only secret, is to literally do it until. Okay? Until when? Just do it. Okay? And you'll get there, right? You will get there. The main other secret. There's a lot of secrets, right?
Before you drop any other secrets. Before you drop any other secrets, okay, we got to make sure that everybody here is it really realizes what is actually happening here. First off, I want to we're going to come back to Darren in just a second. Okay, we're going to bounce all around here a little bit because I want to keep this pretty interesting because some of these principles that we've actually built our business with. Every single person has their own set of skills, their own abilities, but we've all have one thing in common that we've all done. Okay, now, like I said, I'm going to get back to Darren, and love you, buddy, but I've got something that I really want to hear from Andy because I know she actually has to go here pretty soon. But one of the things I want you guys to do is, you see what I have in my hands right here? You're going to want to pull this thing out, get a notepad or something, start taking some notes, okay? Because what we're going to be talking about on the rest of the call can be applied in not only your business, it can be applied in your life, and it can completely transform every single aspect of your entire being because, these are principles that that can be applied in sports and business. I learned most of mine from sports. I know that Andy is going to be popping on. She said that she's got 5 things that she actually does. I'm actually going to turn the time over. But first, what I want to really direct everybody who's brand new on, there's a couple links down below, okay? One of the first tests to find out if you actually can really follow direction and be on our team, quite frankly, is we actually have a couple different links down below. One is a join our team link. Okay. Now, if you click on that link, it'll actually pop up into another form. You can go ahead and start filling this out as you listen to what we're actually doing. Remember, I said there's going to be assignments today. Okay. This is how we work. This is how we roll. This is how we operate as a team. And you can go ahead and start filling that form out while we turn the time over to Andy. We also have a blue button down below that actually talks a little bit more about what a system that we have called iPass, and Alex can probably touch a lot on that. He's got that thing completely down. If not, all of us will pretty much be touching on a lot of this stuff. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and turn the time over to Andy. So Andy, can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine. Go ahead. Turn the time over to you.
Yay. Okay, I'm so sorry. That's, you gotta love technology, and it's just pretty indicative of my schedule. And just before I got on here, I was on Skype, and I see Mr. Hanser says, Andy, where the heck are you? And let me just tell you that, and I will get to my success principles, I promise, and they're extremely important because I don't have a lot of time to dink around, quite honestly. So I actually just walked in the door at 8 o'clock Eastern, and that's about what time I get home every night during the week because my kids are very busy. With different sporting activities and music activities and church activities. So I don't have a lot of time, so I have to be very clear on what I'm trying to do and how I'm going.
All right. Oh, there she is.
She really has to go tonight.
She does.
Andy, are you in the Arctic?
Are you? There you are.
Okay, I just told my kids to get off the internet.
There you go.
So if I can do this, anybody can do this. Sorry about that. Anyway, I have good internet usually. I don't know. Of course, when I want to do something, then I have problems. But anyway, so I'm a single mom of 2 daughters that are very, very busy. I work in corporate America full-time as an engineer, Darren. I am an engineer. And so I don't have a lot of time. And so a few years ago, I actually came across some very interesting success principles from the founder of Apple. Everybody knows who that is, Steve Jobs. And these have kind of become my, I don't want to say Bible, but they become the standard that I live by, or that I build my business by, or build my relationships by, or how I work, or how I parent my kids. These are really the foundation for what I'm trying to do. And so I want to share them with you. Steve Jobs, actually, he talked about 7 different principles, but I have adopted 5 of them. And you know what's really, really interesting about this is that these principles align directly with the Empower Network. How crazy is that? Do you think that's a coincidence? I don't think so. I'm just blown away by how aligned these principles are with the principles of our prosperity team, of the company that we've partnered with, and that I've adopted myself. So, principle number 1 for success, and this is probably the big one, so if you are taking notes, which you should be, this you need to write down. Principle number 1 is you need to do what you love. It's all about being passionate about what you're doing, because guess what? If you don't like what you're doing, if you don't love what you're doing, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you're not going to do it, or you're not going to do it well. You're not going to like doing it. So what's going to happen to your mindset? What's going to happen to maybe your performance? What's going to happen to the world around you if you're not passionate about what you're doing? And I can tell you, we are extremely passionate within the Prosperity team, all the leaders, and everybody within our team, and the Empower Network. I mean, we're getting ready to launch something that's going to change the internet. If you've ever been on a call with David Wood or David Sharp, or a hangout with those guys, or with other leaders, we are extremely passionate about what we are doing, and we love it. We love what we do. I mean, come on. I wouldn't go to work every day for 10 hours a day and then come home, spend some time with my kids for a couple hours, and then work till 12 or 1 in the morning if I didn't love what I'm doing. So success principle number 1, you've got to love what you do. If you are passionate and love what you do, you will succeed. Now, I'm not guaranteeing any results. We do have an income disclaimer, which I think Scott may have already said, but you want to check out that income disclaimer at empowernetwork.com/income.php. It's updated very regularly. You can see the incomes that we're earning. But listen, I've been able to earn almost $100,000. I am just a few $1,000s away from $100,000 in this business, very part-time. You heard my schedule, on a $25 schemy little thing. Now, why is that? Because I'm extremely passionate about what I am doing, and you will succeed. Now, no guarantees. Again, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but this is the thing. It's not going to happen overnight. So that is why it's all the more reason you need to be passionate about what you're doing, because then you'll stay with it. You'll stick with it. A side note, a side story for you guys. Some of you that maybe follow me on Facebook, I have embarked on a weight loss journey. My youngest daughter is 7 years old, so I can't say anymore, yeah, I'm a little bit heavy because I just had a child. Well, she's 7. I can't say that anymore. I can't use that excuse. So I made the decision at the end of July, so just 8 weeks ago, I made the decision, I need to do something. I need to get healthy again. What am I going to do? So I embarked on a weight loss journey, which I'm documenting via video to help other people that want to lose weight. And I'm not pitching any products here, guys. I'm not in a weight loss MLM. I'm just telling you that, guess what? It doesn't happen overnight to lose weight. So I've been on this weight loss journey now for the past 8 weeks. I just weighed in today. I have Wednesday weigh-in. And I just weighed in today, and I've now lost 10.4 pounds. And I'm telling you what, I am just excited about that. Do I want it to go faster? Oh, yeah, I wish I had lost 30 pounds by now. But that's not the way it works. This is a journey, just like your success. The same thing. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not going to happen tomorrow if you started today. So you need to love what you're doing, and you need to be passionate. So that's success principle number 1. Number 2, again, a lot of these come from Steve Jobs, who I'm a huge Apple fan as well. So, you know, and again, I think we've aligned with these principles in Empower Network. Number 2 is sell dreams, not products. You sell the dream, not the products, because we help, that's what we do. We help people achieve their dreams, their goals. We help people leave their jobs. We help people pay their mortgage. We help people change their lives. And that's what you have to think about. Don't think about the $25 blog. Yeah, it's a great product. Believe me, I love it too. It's not just about the inner circle membership. The 15K formula, that's actually my favorite product out of the whole group of products, but it's not about that. It's about selling the dream. That's what we want to do, and that's what you need to think about as you're building your business. So that's success principle number 2. Number 3, and I think Darren actually mentioned this a little bit, is, and I think we do a pretty good job of this network, and I think we do a great job of it in Prosperity Team. Keep it simple. And I'm not going to say stupid. You need to keep it simple, because not everybody's on different levels. And Darren, by the way, is one heck of an internet marketer. Don't let him kid you. He has the skills. But everybody's at different levels, so you have to keep it simple so that you can share with others what they need to do. Let me give you an example. We have people that get started. I have people on my own team that get started. They have never done a blog in their entire life, don't even have a clue what the word blog means, but they really want to achieve their dreams. And remember, we're about selling dreams, not products. So what do we do in the Prosperity Team? We give you done-for-blog content. We give it to you. We show you how to do it. We keep it simple. So you want to think about that as you're sharing with your own team members, or as you're sharing Empower Network or the Prosperity Team with others. Keep it simple. You will have so much more success if you keep that success principle in the back of your mind. All right, success principle number 4, and I like this one too. Create insanely great experiences. And how do we do that here? Well, here we are on a Hangout. This was a pretty cool experience, and I thank you, Scott, for inviting me to be part of the panel tonight. But what we do in Empower Network, which I think is so cool, is that we have events every 3 months. So it's all about the experience. Again, that helps sell the dream, too. It's not about the products, it's about the dream. Create insanely great experiences. And one of the things, if you've ever been to other events before, which I'm sure a lot of you have, we're not about pitching products. We're not about selling. That's not what our events are about. Our events are about people. We are about people. So if you can have great experiences, think about the bond that you're going to form with others. People just want to belong, right? People just want to be part of something. So if you can create these experiences that hit right here in the heart, you will have success like you've never seen before. Prosperity Team, at the events, we have our own get-togethers, because again, this is about helping each other and getting to know each other and building relationships. So if you can create these insane experiences, you're well on your way. All right? Last success principle, number 5 for me, is to master the message. If you're excited about Empower Network, or if you're excited about any company that you're in or a product that you're promoting, if you don't get the message out there and people can't feel your excitement, you're going to struggle. So if you can master your message and tell great stories, which that is what Dave and Dave do like no other. That is why they sell for us, right? But we also have to learn how to be the messenger. We have to learn how to master that message and share our excitement. Get people excited, because when people are excited, guess what? What do? They buy. So you can click that button below that says buy and join our team, because we are extremely excited about what's to come, not only with the launch of EMV2, Empower Network version 2, but also within our own team. We have some secret things that no other team has that we are very excited about. So click the button below and you will find out what those secret things are that we have. And that's it. Those are my 5 success principles, Scott.
Wow. I don't know about you guys, but that was insane. I've learned a lot over the course of my career, and one thing that you'll you'll always learn from other people. One of the biggest principles that I've learned is humility. The moment that you think that you know everything is the moment that you're on your decline. Now notice here, I have written down every single thing that she said, and one of the things that, I mean, all of it stood out for me, Andy. Thank you so much. And especially the whole part about your first principle, loving what you do. One of the things you'll notice, anybody who's been on any of our hangouts before, like I said, you might be brand new, you might have been here the whole time, but one thing is for certain, we are all extremely passionate. Some people know I'm the first one, either I'm joking around or I'm bawling my eyes out because I'm really passionate because I help somebody change their life. Okay? That's what we're passionate about. We're a leadership factory, and that's what we do here. So basically, one of the things that I've learned about losing weight in particular is losing weight is not like a goal. It's a lifestyle choice, right? It's a choice that you do because you're passionate about who you are, who you want to be, and that still applies to business. So that was a great metaphor, I guess, metaphor analogy. I flunked English. No, actually, I got a C in English, but I don't understand all the the different language patterns and all that stuff, that the naming of them. But another thing too that you really said was your number 5, master the message. I remember hearing it best. Remember, we learn from other people. There's a guy by the name of Vic who's one of the top income earners here in Empower. One of the things that he really pointed out to a lot of people was why is it that one person can do really great and another person can do not so great, and they all have the same everything, and it's because it's a transfer of feelings from one person to another. When you believe deep down what you're doing, it just transfers over to another person. So thank you so much, Andy, for dropping all that stuff for everybody. Now we're going to bring Darren out here in a little bit, okay? But Darren's the type of guy that you definitely want to stick around with, because he drops so much value. I mean, I don't nickname him the copywriting kingpin for nothing, okay? Most of the time, when there's an email that he sends out, I'm swiping that sucker and I'm sending it out. So you want to definitely stick around longer for Darren's all of Darren's content that he's going to be dropping here. So up next, I want to bring out the man, the myth, the legend himself. His name is Alex Zubroff. Now let me tell you just a little bit about Alex. And first, what I want to do is I want to make sure that we make some noise here. Okay, so I'm going to paste something. There we go. I'm going to paste something here in the chat, and I want you to remember this is an interactive thing. I want every single person in here to copy what I just put into the chat there. Copy that and paste that into Facebook and send it out. If you click on that blue, the coolest thing about this, here's a little lesson here, okay? Remember at the very beginning I told you that if you pay attention, you follow direction, and you do some of the things that we're talking about here, and you really, really can follow directions, we're going to be able to show you how we work here and how you can actually start making money. Okay? One of the things that you may not have realized up to this point is that when you click on that Facebook link and you paste that in there, whatever you hit send to goes to your Facebook, and when a person comes from Facebook and comes back to here, guess what? That person is coded to you. So when they click join down below, guess who they're going to join? They're going to join through you, through your link. Whoever it was that brought you here. You see how we work as a team? You see how we're actually cultivating leadership, how we're actually closing sales for you right now as we speak. So with that said, I want to give the time over to my brother from another mother, Alex Z. Alex, buddy, can you come out?
Can you guys hear me?
Hear you great, buddy. Go ahead.
Sweet, sweet. Hey, how's everyone doing? Thanks for spending time with us. We have like 2,000 people right now watching us on Wednesday night, so you guys are serious about your future. and you're not wasting time in front of the idiot box, as we call it, watching mindless shows. My success principles are really simple. I don't know if it's 9, maybe it's 20, maybe it's 29, maybe it's 19, but let me just mention some of them. Really, one of the things that really I realized after spinning my wheels, for quite a long time, like many of you, trying different things, to make money from home, online, whatever you want to call it, but to, add to that lifestyle, to my family, to be able to do more things in our life while we're still alive, right? Model after successful people, that's principle number 1, right? Really surround yourself with mentors, with people that are actually doing and achieving results that you want to achieve, okay? Don't listen to people that actually don't have results. It's simple. If people tell you like, hey, they draw circles in front of you and tell you you can bring 2 people. Sorry, my headphones not cooperating. If you can bring 2 people and they can bring 2 people and those people are going to bring 2 people, you're going to get rich. Well, if they're preaching that dream and they're not living that dream, don't listen to them, okay? Surround yourself, connect with people that are actually living the dream, living the lifestyle that you want to live, making the money that you want to make, traveling the world anytime they want that you want to travel, right? That's who you listen to. And really, another one is ignore the naysayers, because those negative people in your life will really sabotage your success. Because you might have passion, you might have dreams. They gave up on those dreams a long time ago. And guess what? They're going to try to keep you at the same level where they're comfortable at. Okay? And if you tell them, hey, next month I'm going to make $10,000 per month, they're going to say, hey, John, listen, dude, seriously, like, who do you think you are? Just, let's go hang out in a bar. They got $2 beers, specials, let's just, like, drink our life away, So really, at some point, you need to realize that you need to separate yourself from the mass, right? You can live with the masses, right, and serve the classes, or you can live with the classes and serve the masses. So choose wisely, right, where you want to be in life. Because once you make that decision, your subconscious mind is going to help you every single day. Okay, going to tell you what to do next day. If you really set yourself on a goal to success, right, on that path. Because a lot of people, they call me, like, or email me, like, well, I joined, what do I do next? And I ask them, like, what's your goal? What's your income goal? And if they don't answer me right away, exactly how much money would they want to make in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, I know they don't have a goal. They have no idea where they're going. And just like Alice in Wonderland, right, got the response like, well, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So really get clear on your goals. Know exactly where you're going, know exact time frame you're going to achieve that goal. Write that down, because when you write the goal that's not written down, it's not a goal. It's just a wish, right? So like in my house, like I wrote that goal back in July. Back in June, we were in Miami, doing mastermind with Dave, and he had us do exercise. It was like 11 o'clock at night, but you know what? This is what you gotta do to achieve abnormal results, because normal people, typical people, don't achieve, results that you want to achieve. That's the reason you're watching us right now, because that's where you want to go. So at 11 o'clock, he told us, hey, do this exercise, and don't come back tomorrow until you're done. He gave us like this 30 pages of, it's like a booklet, right? We had to really do our homework on Saturday night in Miami Beach. Everybody wanted to go out and party, right? But he said like, well, if you don't finish your homework, don't come back tomorrow. Okay, and we really realized that, hey, man really means that when he said that. So we went back to our hotel room and filled out, started working on that, and I was like midnight. Basically, like until 2 o'clock, like 2:30, I crashed. I didn't finish everything. But here's the point. One of the exercises was answer this question: how much money you want to make, and by what date? And I wrote down $60,000 a month by by September 1st. So 2 months ahead. Like I did that 60-day goal, and really just went to bat with that goal. That's basically what I did. And guess what? In August, on September 1st, I logged into my back office, and I just copy and pasted all my commissions into Excel spreadsheet to calculate, and we hit $57,000. The $3,000 sale came the next day. So I guess I succeeded, right? I guess I reached my goal. But here's the kicker: if you did, what happened if I didn't do that? I wouldn't put my subconscious mind to really work on that goal and to do whatever it takes to achieve that goal. So once again, success principle number 2 or 3: get clear on your goals and write them down. Surround yourself with successful people. Ignore naysayers. Sometimes you have to isolate yourself from, even friends. Some of the friends, they just don't belong in your life anymore. I had to do it. I had to do it a couple of years ago because they kept me stuck. They kept me stuck. They just constantly were nagging, complaining, bitching about everything else, just like I had to really like decide, like, hey, do I want to continue on that path or do I want to work on my dreams? And I started working on my dreams part-time every night. Every night after work, I was stuck in a cubicle for 13 years. I wanted out. I didn't want that lifestyle for me. I didn't want my children to grow without me because, hey, living in New York, it would take, I was like away from my house for 12, 14 hours a day with the commute and everything. And I was working on it. And luckily, I came across Empower Network. And guess what? You're in the same position right now because, a lot of people tell me, hey, Alex, the only reason you're successful is because you were there on the first day. You joined on the first day. Well, guess what? Right now, what Empower Network has done so far is nothing what it's going to do next month. What actually next week, right? In like last two weeks, the new blogging platform launches. And the income levels that you've seen so far going to look like nothing. Like basically nothing. Like a typical hourly wage, because it's going to really transform a lot of things. I don't want to go into details, but just once again, success principle number 1: listen to people that make money that you want to make. Okay, just listen to me right now. If you don't join right now, you're gonna miss out on your future. Your family will miss out on your future. You're gonna sabotage your future. Success principle number 3: take action every single day. Take daily action. It doesn't matter how many hours. In the beginning, it might take me 5-6 hours. But on average, I would say it took me 2-3 hours every day. 2-3 hours, okay? Is it worth working towards your dream by finding 2 hours in one day? Absolutely, in my book. And I'm sure you guys gonna agree. And, if a lot of people ask me, like, hey, how do you do email marketing? How do you send emails? Well, watch video 21 inside of 15K Formula. I did that training while I was working my business part-time, while I had my corporate job. And that's exactly how I went from 0 to almost $500,000 now in, 22 months. So success principle number 4, take daily action. Okay? Success principle number 5 would be align yourself with a business model that actually pays you for your time, that's worth your time, that pays you 100% commissions. Because a lot of you guys, running around, jumping from one deal to another, just like I was a couple years ago, and they pay you like, 5%, 10% commissions. You need to recruit, honestly, you need to recruit 10,000 people, okay, 10,000 people to make $2,000, $3,000. I was just listening to a conference with Aaron Rashkin, and he had 10,000 people in one of his network marketing downlines. Guess how much money he was making? $4,000 a month from 10,000 people. Do you know how much money you can make if you have 10,000 people? We're talking about $250,000 plus. Well, it's actually more like $500,000 a month. I know it might sound astronomical, but it's possible. We have people doing that in our company. And that's why there's so many people that are watching us that have downlines, that they, work their butt off, right, to build, with blood, with tears, with a lot of sacrifices, and they're getting paid peanuts. And now they're coming on board, and they're bringing people on board, and those brand new people finally starting making money. We always talk about money. Income disclosure for FTC results depending on your application, obviously, but if you take action, there's no reason you're going to fail unless you don't take action. So click that button, choose wisely. You can click the blue button and learn more about iPass and what it does for you and how it closes those $3,000 sales for you on autopilot while you doing whatever at the beach or you're traveling, or you can press the red button. If you're action taker like me, you're going to click that button and join right now. And, it's $25, nobody gets hurt. $19 affiliate fee, and you'll join us on our path to success, and we're going to help you all the way. All you have to do is make that, step. Hey, I can go on and on. I have a couple other ones, but I'll hand Mike back to you, man. Scott.
All right. Well, thanks, brother. Man, I just wrote down about two more pages of notes there. Wow. Wait. Now, what was it that you said? Now, official income disclaimer, right? Alex is actually, part of the KGB mafia. I think he is absolutely abnormal. But now, say what was it one more time that you actually were able to create in your business?
I'm sorry, Scott. What was your question?
What was?
I got distracted by my mafia boss, Franco.
Oh, okay. How much total have you made in Empower, buddy?
We calculated as of I think yesterday, $490-something thousand,
awesome.
Which is kind of mind blowing because we did it part time, and that's what allowed us to go full time. And I retired my wife as well, obviously, and we just still working business part time, living life full time now, and a lot of people do as well.
That's right. So $490,000. That's no small change, and he did that part time. So a lot of people. Okay, so right now, right off the bat, you've already heard from several different people who have had a full-time job. One person in particular, Andy, she's got not only a full-time career outside of what she does on the internet, but she also has two little ones. Two kids at home that she also takes care of, and she's able to create basically a full-time income on a part-time basis. I remember those days. I used to be I used to have a full-time job, and now I don't. And so one thing that you notice that has, just of the people that we've heard from so far, is they all started pretty much at the same spot. We were working a full-time job. We all started. We had some different challenges in our lives, and we decided to latch on to this vehicle that we call Empower Network. This vehicle that has all the infrastructure and the products and everything that has been able to allow us to not only learn some of these different skills that we didn't know existed, but also apply them and be able to be out at the beach drinking Mai Tais or whatever and actually have commissions roll in. Now, obviously, that's not a guarantee that that's what's going to happen to you, but that is what is possible. And that's some of the things that we like to talk about is the potential that you actually have here. Now, Franco, my man, what's up? How you doing?
Carlsbad Pipelines, baby. Carlsbad Pipelines. Literally, I'm just walking into my room right now, and the internet connection is a little bit hotel-y, if you know what I mean. So I turned everything off, but if you guys can see and hear me okay, we're good then.
Cool. Well, let's okay, so since Franco just came on, Franco, we've been putting Darren off for almost going on an hour here, because he kind of came off a little bit, and I interrupted him because we wanted to get a little bit more noise made out in Facebook and everything, and then we switched the gears and flipped over to Andy and Alex, and so now we're going to go back to Darren for a little bit because he's going to drop some secrets. But first, as everybody knows right now, by now you already know what is coming. I'm going to be putting out some swipe copy here, And see, this is how we roll here in the Prosperity Team. I'm going to paste this into the chat, and I want you to grab this sucker, and I want you to click on that Facebook link, and I want you to put that out on Facebook. Let's bring some people in here. Let's make some noise. I'm actually going to do this as we are sitting here talking to, so you can actually pull up any of the leaders' Facebook feeds, and I bet you are going to see this. Okay.
Hey, Scott, can I interrupt you before you bring out Darren? Because that's what I like to do.
Sure. Absolutely.
I'm just going to get off.
I feed off
I just got to get off for another hangout, so I wanted to say goodbye and thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Andy, for blessing us with your amazing 5 principles. I'm sure everybody got amazing value out of it. Everybody give Andy a hand in the chat and thank her for her time.
See you, Andy.
See you, Andy. All right.
Thank you.
All right. So make sure everybody gets that onto Facebook. I just sent mine. Now let's turn the time over to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Darren White Chocolate Hanser.
White chocolate.
Franco, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy? I feed off your energy, bro.
I just think it's cool. You know, Franco is, if you watch him on Facebook, the guy's just traveling, right? He's with his family, he's with his wife and daughter, and just enjoying life. And I think that one of the main secret principles that I was alluding to before was getting around people who have what you have, who live how you want to live, and who just are doing what you want to do. You know, don't hang around the turkeys, right? Hang around the eagles that are flying around the world, that are living their lives with their families. Look, I don't know where he's taking this, but that's the one thing that if I go back I think Franco's getting beaten up over there by hotel security, but so he'll be okay. But the reality is, I spent a lot of time around people who brought me down, right? And I don't know if you can relate. You know, if you just remember maybe a time in your life when you thought you were doing everything right, you thought you were doing everything the right way, following instructions the way that you were supposed to, but things just weren't working out. You know, and that's how I was, you know, for a long time, even online, even doing, you know, things that supposedly I was supposed to be getting the results, and from the surface it looked like I was doing the right things. And then I got connected with the right people. You know, a few events happened in my life where I got kind of positioned in a place where I was kind of fed up with how I was operating, right? How I was living my life, you know, in Empower Network, marketing on the internet, you know, being quote unquote successful online, you know, selling other products, doing affiliate deals, doing all kinds of stuff. So I had a decent income coming from a lot of different sources, but there was something inside of me that was always chasing. I was always chasing that carrot, and it was always so far away. And I finally got connected with the right people, and I didn't realize how important that was until I had it, right? And then I looked back at times in my life when I didn't have people around me who lifted me up and who actually saw the potential and gave a platform to actually show it, right? And you know, I think that a lot of you have a lot of potential and a lot of passion and a lot of skills and resources inside of you that are just maybe need a little tweak in order to get the results going. You know, and that's what I needed. I actually reached out to. I was actually sitting on a bus one day. You know, I was sitting on a bus and I was literally fed up. I was fed up with literally just living paycheck to paycheck. I was fed up with you know, making a lot of money but not having any left. I was fed up with getting a lot of you know, quote unquote results but not having anything to show for it, and having a team and not really understanding how to glue a team together, and that's what I was missing. I was missing a little critical piece in order to actually glue my team together, you know, and have a system, resources, a community, people who care and share to actually allow me to look at someone in the eye and say, you can do this, right? And we're here to help you do it. And there's a system to follow. If you follow what the system tells you to follow, then you'll get some good results. But if you miss out on little pieces, which I was missing out on, I was missing out on the community. I was missing out on the community. And not just community of going to events, but community of connecting with people who are going where you want to go, who are where you want to be, and who are ready to help you. That's what I was missing out on, and I literally latched on to this group of people in the prosperity team. You know, I almost sometimes felt like that little redheaded stepchild who just wanted some candy, and I would just come and I would say, I'm going on the Hangout, I'm coming out tonight, here's some swipe copy, I'm going to type this up, I'm in the Skype group, I'm like, I need to do this, and I literally just wanted to be a part and serve. And I think that that was missing for me, and the principle behind that is, to get out of yourself, find out what you can do to help someone else. Right, and I'm not saying help people with a hand up, just like buy them into the business, all that kind of stuff. You don't help people that way. That's hurting people. Help people reach their dreams by showing them what's possible. Right. By me, I get stumbled for words sometimes when I think about this, because the stories that Dave Wood and Dave Sharp and all of them would share about when they were first getting started, working, 10 hours a day, slaving away at the computer. I did that too, but there was a piece missing that was a little different, and I got that here. I got that the daily action, and it's the right action. It's not just spamming shit all over Facebook. That's not the right action all day. Don't take action spamming Facebook, okay? That's not what you're supposed to do, all right? Take action towards your vision, okay? Ask yourself at every moment in time, is what I'm doing at this moment, this exact moment, pushing me towards my goals or dropping me back from them, okay? And if it's not pushing you towards your goals, if it's not lifting somebody up, if it's not helping somebody reach their potential, if it's not helping you feel better about yourself, if you don't feel better about yourself today than you did yesterday, then you got to look at what you're doing, okay? Not how you're thinking. Don't worry about how you're thinking, because that will come after you just do, right? Take action every single day. And how much action? As much as possible, okay? There's no number. There's no secret formula of how much you need to do. You just need to do everything that you can to get the results that you want. And that's I needed to get that into my head. I started trying to live like Dave Wood was living. I tried to live like Dave Wood was living when I was making what his maid was making. Okay? And the reality is, I wasn't at a place that I could actually do that. I didn't have the luxury, okay, of just sitting on my, on my hammock, and making money. I didn't have a team of 150,000 people. That wasn't my life, okay? I had a team of 10, then 2, then 50, then 1, right? That's how my life was, right? So I had to work as hard as it took, okay? Not, just writing emails, studying, learning from guys like Franco. If you want to learn how to really, compel people through words, watch what Franco does. Okay, I learned from him. You can call me whatever you want. I learned from guys like Franco, from guys that are, have been around for years longer than me. I study guys that are dead now, right? Learning just about people, about the way that people make decisions and the way that people react to certain just to certain events in their lives, and what makes people twitch, right? And that's the only thing that I've done any differently lately, is just I've studied people more, right? But I think the fact of the matter is, I'm not studying other people. I've studied myself more, right? I've studied myself and said, okay, well, what made me so excited about this, right? How can I attract someone like me? Right? How can I attract someone like me that has a burning passion, just to be better. A burning desire. Literally, I get up in the morning at 5:30 in the morning. Some nights I don't go to bed till 2 or 3 in the morning because I'm just doing what I need to do so that I can give everything I can to the 3 girls upstairs. I got 1 wife, I got 2 daughters, and that's what matters. Okay, if that means that I have to write 10 emails today, that means I have to write swipe copy for the prosperity team. I have to do a hangout for my team on Sunday mornings. I have to come out here on Wednesday nights. I got to miss Modern Family tonight and watch the replay. That's what I got to do. And there's no excuse. Someone says to me, well, I don't have the time. Screw you, you don't have the time. Okay? You have the time. Make the time. All right? We all have the same amount of time. All right, there's no excuse, nothing. All right, you know, I talked to John Chapman earlier, and he couldn't get out here tonight because he's selling potatoes for his daughter, and you know, they're doing a fundraiser, and that's pretty cool. Like, his daughter actually looks like my daughter. They're the same age. They both do the same kind of thing, and it's really cool. And he was the guy that I sent a message to when I was sitting on that bus. All right, I was sitting on that bus, and I said, I'm sick and tired of just running in circles on the internet. Okay, I'm just sick and tired of that because I was in one deal, then I was in another deal, then the owner got, you know, I don't even know, nobody got paid. It was just like, you know, all this crap over the course of a couple of years, and like I had a team of 100 people in this other deal, and then the freaking owner decided that he's not paying anybody, right? And then some, you know, people started saying that I was, you know, not doing things right, and I was like, screw you, I'm not doing things right. This asshole's not paying me, right? So I lost the whole team there. I got to rebuild. Okay, so if you're in a place where you're thinking that, you know, you don't have another, you know, another team in you, you don't have another, you know, run of the mill in you, you don't have another game in you, you do. Okay, it's in you. Right? There's no quitting. There's no quitting in this game. This is not a game that you can quit. This is it. There is like that's the secret principle to success. You just never quit, right? And I don't care what anyone says. Okay? When I get replies to emails saying, "Oh, well, I don't have the time," or "It's too expensive," sometimes I reply to them because there's no excuse. I got an email reply the other day saying I don't have the $25, and then right underneath it says sent from my iPad, right? You know, and I'm just like I don't understand. Okay, I replied and I said, you don't have. It's not that you don't have the money. It's just that you don't have the right priorities. You don't have the right vision. Okay, if you're playing Candy Crush and you're worried about borrowing lives from friends on Facebook, okay, but you don't have $25 to start a business and live the life of your dreams, what the hell are you doing? Right? Like, what are you doing? And I get so angry just at the fact that, you know, I want to deal with people, I want to work with people that are ready to dream, right? That are ready to literally, you know, dream again. And that's possible. I know a lot of people have stopped dreaming, and they've listened to the bullshit out there of people saying, you know, you gotta just go do it this way, or you have to go get a job and do it this way, or you can't afford that, or I can't go here, or I can't, right? What if you woke up one day and said, I'm gonna do this? Like, what would happen to your life, right? What would happen to your life if every day you woke up and looked in the mirror and said, I can do this, right? And you just did it. And every single day you read your goals. You said, and right on here, right on my phone, I've got this is another thing that I've been doing. I've got Dropbox, okay, on my phone, all right. And I go right here, and I've got my it's called my 30K manifesto. All right, right on my phone. I don't know if Franco's taking video or something. This is copyright. Don't look at this, okay? So right here on my phone, if you can see that, I'll scroll up. This thing right here is my 30K manifesto. I read this. It's got pictures of Disneyland. It's got all kinds of stuff. I read that every single morning and every single night out loud, okay? Because I know that I need to put things into my head that are different than the things that the outside world is trying to bombard me with. If I'm listening to shit outside, it's just going to make me think that that's the way that the world goes. Okay, I was listening to an audio from Dave Wood this morning, and I listen to audios every day, our Inner Circle audios. If you don't own that product, own it, because you go back years of just audio, just unbelievable, just I don't know what these guys are doing over there, but they're nuts. But the amount of value that is in the Inner Circle membership. I was listening to this audio this morning, and it really hit me because I haven't watched the news. I don't know what's going on in the world pretty much. My wife just had to tell me that there was some terrorist attack across the world because our cousin is living there, doing some work for the government and some peace work, and there was a terrorist attack in the mall. I didn't know this. Right. I knew that there's something went on, but I didn't know the full details. And then I started learning about it. But the fact of the matter is, if I wake up every day and the first thing that I get heard is that someone got killed, everyone's starving in the world. There's no money. The economy's collapsing. The interest rates aren't going anywhere because the United States is broke. If I hear that the first thing in the morning, my day's gonna suck. Right. If that's how I think the world is, my day is absolutely just going to suck. So what do I do in the morning? I don't listen to that. I look at my vision, because my vision looks a lot better than what the world looks like right now. And if I can just focus on my vision and the vision of my team and the vision of you and the vision of everyone else that has something greater for themselves than what's been handed to them by life's servants, okay, then that's where I'm going to focus. And if I can connect with guys like Alex, who literally is just a phenom, okay, I don't know how this guy does it, but I get 50 emails from him every 2 seconds, and each one of them I'm sure creates some sort of sales frenzy. But all I know is that if I hang out with guys like Alex, and I hang out with guys like Franco, I hang out with guys like Scott, I hang out with guys, girls like Andy, I'm going to become better. Okay, I'm going to be better, and that's the only thing that works, is just get better every day, push forward, never quit, regardless of what anyone says. Anybody, I don't care if it's your aunt, dog, cat, the crickets outside. If you're hearing them say, you should quit, you should quit, you should quit, you need to listen to something. You need to look at your vision. You need to work towards your goals, because that shit is not going to stop until you stop it by taking action. That is the only thing that stops those naysayers, is by you proving them wrong. And how good do you feel when you have that Facebook photo right on the top that says, I quit my damn job, what are you doing today? Right? How does that feel? Okay, imagine that moment instead of the moment where you got to spend $25 right now to get started. Like, I don't get it. There's no excuse. I've had too much water. I can't talk anymore.
Wow. Oh my! We could literally just stop the hangout right now. I mean, that
dangers
was
of water. The dangers of drinking too much water.
Wow, that was incredible. You guys, everybody in the chat, that was insane, right? Wasn't it? I mean, that was absolutely epic. I mean, most of I still got my 9 principles coming right now. If you have not joined, down below, after listening to what Darren just said to you, you need to go like this real quick and make sure you can feel something beating in your neck right there. And that's called a pulse. If you've got one of those, you need to click on that button down below and join right now.
Get in, man. This dude just blew my shoes right off my feet. Check it out. Clean off my feet.
Oh, man. All right. So we are going to continue on, because I promised everybody that you'd get just a ton of value. And we at the Prosperity Team, we cultivate leadership. We bring this to you, and we over-deliver. We over-deliver on every single thing that we do. Every single person that's in our team can attest to going into our prosperity system and seeing what we actually have available for people, where we give people daily content. We give people done for you everything. We have from Monday through Friday and even Sunday, we have a calendar of things that you can actually plug in to do if you don't know what to do. We have you hooked up, we have you set up. So we're going to continue on with this hangout, even though right now you should already be clicking on that red link down below and filling out the form, which you can actually do right now at any time you choose. as we turn the time over to Franco. But before we turn the time over to Franco, let's make some more noise on Facebook. Let's just blow this up, guys. I'm going to put in some. Franco doesn't know that I actually wrote some.
Art of hype, baby. The art of hype. Art, right. I said.
Exactly. And you know, Franco doesn't know that I actually put this in here. So I'm going to type this in. And I've known Franco for, you know, I've known of him for many years, and I've actually gotten the privilege to speak with him and learn from him directly and indirectly in some of his videos. You know, I stalk him like everybody else does on Facebook and everything else. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce everybody. Of course, you don't even have to introduce him. The man, the myth, the legend himself. Franco Gonzalez, come out, brother. Show us your stuff, buddy.
What's up, baby? How you guys doing, man? I love this, man. I feed off of Darren. I've been reading Darren's stuff, man. I feed off of his energy so much because when you're running with people that have ran and learned from the same people that you snuck around and learned from too. So it's like we're rolling on energy. So when my tank is like a quarter down and I need to top it off, I'll go find some of Darren's stuff, you know, or find some of Alex's emails or do something like that. And it's really cool to finally have an environment like that where you have a lot of gunslingers, and we're a leadership factory here, and we've got people coming up, man, and quitting their jobs. I have little news about that in a second. Matter of fact, I'm going to be meeting with a job killer in a few minutes, probably after we're done being live here. But it's awesome, man. And I found this actually. I was in the surf shop. I'm in San Diego in Carlsbad. I just hopped off the train. I just got back from vacation in Mexico, and then I hopped right back on the train and came down to San Diego because I ain't done having fun in the sun, because this is how we do it. And there's a surf shop called Carlsbad Pipelines. And I bought some sandals and some shoes and a T-shirt there because I didn't pack. I just hopped on the damn train and came down here. And on the way down here, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to be there at about, you know, this time, about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock our time local. We'll do the hangout. Hopefully the hotel has good Wi-Fi, good connection here. And it's doing okay. I had to turn everything else off. But it's pretty good. And so anyway, I came here, and then I just didn't even do an email, guys. We got people flowing in here to this hangout because I was just on Facebook. I've cultivated my list, and I've educated and shared with my list to follow me even better and follow you and follow our entire team on Facebook, because Facebook, as long as your team or your prospects, your guests that you're educating and delivering value to, as long as they're plugged into Facebook, they call that 100% deliverability, and Alex Z knows all about deliverability. Facebook is better than texting, because pretty soon texting is great right now. Yeah, they'll get your text, but if they're busy, they're gonna pay attention to it later. But if you kind of go with the wave, right? If on our wave thing in Carlsbad at the beach, if you ride along the wave and you don't fight the wave, and you realize that people are addicted to the Facebook wave right now, and they're living on there anyway, whether they're on their mobile phone or on their laptop. I didn't even have to send out an email to my list because the connection was a little too slow for that, but I was able to get on my smartphone and post a little something that, hey, team, I'm going to be in Carlsbad in a couple of hours. If any of you want to coach and workshop with me without having to pay or do this or do that, if you're local, come on up to Carlsbad Village, be on the hangout with me, or after the hangout, whenever you get off work, you know, all that stuff. But let's hang. Let's create emails. Let's create funnels. Let's do videos for your capture pages, for your thank you pages, for your ENV2, the beast mode launch pages, you know, whatever you got going on. And we'll talk about posting, you know, different ways to post on Facebook, as well as email follow-up series, and just the wholeness that is what it is that we do on the internet. And in a short moment of time, I had message after message after message hitting me of people in Southern California within driving distance from here, getting off work, going to grab some of their teammates and just come up here because we can do that. And this is yesterday. I got off the plane literally at about 5 o'clock our time on the West Coast, 5 o'clock in the evening, we got off at LAX International Terminal, spent about longer than the flight, spent about an hour and a half or 2 hours clearing customs, right? And then I hopped it to home, got home at about 8 o'clock or so, and then I was just going through our content and stuff and seeing what was going on with the launch and all this good stuff that we're doing with EMV2, and I planned, well, why the heck not? Why stop the vacation? Before I lose my tan, let me hop on a train and go all the way down to San Diego and keep it going. And we did that. I went to Mexico. We spent 7 days in Puerto Vallarta at a resort. It was all beautiful, fun stuff. We were finding jungle, hidden, secret beaches that are private and doing all this stuff, all this cool stuff. And I had my 6-year-old daughter with me, and I had my wife. Why did we go? We went on 2 days' notice. 2 days' notice. I didn't give a rip how much it was going to cost me. It was 2 days' notice because I was kind of thinking, well, Pammy's birthday is coming up in 2 days. My dumbass hasn't planned anything. I got to do something cool. I can't just take her to the ball game, the Dodger game. That doesn't fly 2 times in a row. So I figured, well, you know what? The most epic birthday that I shared with her was 3 years ago, when she was turning and she was turning that age 3 years ago, and I said, why don't we celebrate at Burros Bar on the beach, the David Wood thing, right, with our toes in the sand at the beach, having mojitos and margaritas and Mexican food and right on the beach and stuff, at a restaurant that's there, casual, laid back, watch the sunset because it's on the Pacific coast, so the sun sets right on the freaking ocean, and it's the most beautiful view you've ever seen in your life. And 3 years ago, internet marketing allowed me to do that. And so then I was thinking, and I was like, well, why the hell not? It's just right down the Pacific coast. Let's just hop on a plane and go there. Now, before, this would have been the issue. What about Valerie's school? Because public school, right? You can't just take off for a week. School just started for them. What about taking care of our 2-year-old? Because she's not at the point where we want to take her to resorts and stuff, especially if I want to celebrate Mama. Right, because if Mama's at a resort with a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old, Mama ain't celebrating nothing but what they want to be in the pool all day and all right, Alex? Kids want to be in the pool all day, all night. Doesn't matter what Mom and Dad want to do. We want to be at the pool until the moon goes down, right? Until they kick them out of the pool. And so I thought, well, she's not at that age. She's going to be 2 years old in November. So just a few short years ago, what I just did would have been impossible. Now, I know I got a couple of corporate high rollers on big executive accounts, and they can take off and go to, 10-star here and 10-star there. But the fact of the matter is, they usually have to plan that 6 months or a year in advance. They got to play corporate politics. They got to worry about what's going on at the office while they're gone. Usually, they're more focused on getting back to Wi-Fi, so that they can check what the mess is back at the office, who's trying to steal their job, who found their secret file of BS that, they're having meetings with the boss every 5 minutes, so that they can take your job. You're getting replaced by younger and cheaper all the time out there in corporate America. Don't you dare take too much time off. Alex will tell you what happens when you go on vacation to Mexico and you have a job. He'll tell you he got an email that said, hey, Hope, wish I was there, but you're fired.
Oh, man. It's such a distant memory now, man. It's amazing.
That's what happens, man. So you gotta watch out on how you gotta play ninja politics just to take a frickin' vacation. Plus the situation with babysitting and pulling your kids out of school. Well, here's the deal now. 3 years later, and I wouldn't have been able to do this even 2.5 years ago because I was grinding. I was doing the Darren Hansen, man. We were all of us, because I knew all of us at some point in time, we were out there making our moves and doing our thing, trying to build something online. But the thing, guys, was we didn't have the environment, right? We didn't have the ownership that we do here. We didn't have, now that we have a corporation, right? We just had 2 crazy hippie owners for a couple of months when we first launched, and everything was done wrong, and that's why we're still here, because we had more heart than anything else. We were breaking every single freaking rule, and we didn't have merchant accounts, so we said, "We'll get your own merchant account. Do this, do that. Just hack through the jungle." Remember the hack through the jungle webinars that we were having, guys? Don't worry, guys. We have no merchant account. We have no website. We don't know what our products are going to be. But hey, we love you. Let's keep hacking through the jungle. We'll figure it out. So if you guys have questions now about who we are, what we do, what our products are, what's our track record, only $70 million paid out in about 21 months, what kind of infrastructure do we have? The only people that beat us in infrastructure, we have a website that's bigger than Oprah's website. We have a website that's bigger. I think last time I saw it was like the 82nd most heavily trafficked site according to Alexa.com USA, and I don't know what we are. It's under 400. It's like the top 300 or 400 sites, I think, maybe even better than that. Worldwide, our infrastructure is Fortune 500 company infrastructure. Nobody can hack into it. Nobody can DDoS attack it. ENV2 right now, what you have an opportunity to pre-launch with us and roll with before anybody else is going to have a shot to even touch it. Even the ones that want to get it won't be able to get it. Don't worry about that. Just get in. Don't get locked out. But the infrastructure we're going to roll in right now, the internet hasn't even seen. But it's going to be so heavily tested. We're going to have communication system. Forget about email deliverability. We're going to have internal, for members-only communication systems where we'll be segmenting and separating. If you want to talk to somebody that came into your team 2 seconds ago but not 15 minutes ago, you're going to be able to separate people and send them the post that you want. And if your team is really working their ass off and posting cool stuff, you're going to be able to repost it, and mobile phone, video, and audio postings. All this stuff that we're coming out with. Just 2.5 years ago, it didn't even exist. And 2.5 years ago, I would not have even taken the time to leave my laptop because it was so unstable on the internet. And Darren talked a little bit about, joining programs that fold. Guess who's guilty of being a co-owner of a system that folded? Let me tell you why sometimes programs fold. So I'm in this deal. Alex was on my team. I'm in this deal. Right, it's already a pretty hokey travel deal, but we've got some skills, and there was nothing else going on at the time that we felt was sexy enough, and we felt our team could make money here, and who knows, maybe it'll take off like Empower did, but you never know when they first take off. It's an idea, and the people either make it happen, ownership either makes it happen or kills it, right? So we're in this deal. Scott, they give this supposed old school traditional guru the keys to the kingdom. He was allowed to run a daily conference call, right, Alex? A daily conference call for the entire company. We sent all our people to this stupid daily call. I thought it was the company call. I thought it was, like our Empower Hour call where it was sanctioned and endorsed and owned by the company, right? So I felt it was safe. So Alex and me and Mike Hobbs and Adam Whiting and Michelangelo even was in there. All kinds of people were in this stupid thing. And we're all sending our entire people, all of our list, to these daily calls, right? And it wasn't a cheap program, right? It was 10 times more to join that than it is to join ours right now at $25. So minimum was $250. Right, and so we were running, and it was like madness. We make everything fun, but it wasn't Empower. We had to bring the juice to it. We had to bring all the mojo, all they gave us, and all they were expected to give us. Really, this is back in the day before Empower. We changed an entire industry with what programs are expected to deliver now, the level of service. But back then, what was it, Alex? It was Complan, and there's your website. And sometimes it doesn't work. You guys go create the program, go recruit, go get paid, right? You're the marketers. So basically it was a tech semi-programmer guy, and then it was this old fart from Chicago who didn't understand anything that we do but bankrolled it. So he was like, I'll pay the server, just set it up, let's start some calls, let's roll. So we're working, and we're sending all these people to this call on Tuesday and Thursday. Well, here's what happened. Long story short, we invest everything we got. because everywhere we go, we give it everything we've got. And we were building, but our team wasn't. Right? So we're keeping it simple. Let's send him into a conference call. So it's about 4 months strong of sending our entire list to this conference call. And then these freaking jokers that were running the conference call decide to announce in public on a company call that they had some kind of riff with the owners, and they were taking all of their marbles, and they were going from this program that wasn't, I mean, theoretically wasn't cheap compared to other programs, but they were going into this nickel freaking joke of a program. They didn't know what was going on, but they were going to go into this $5 deal and taking everybody with them. And me and Alex must have been like this on Skype, going, dude, did you just hear what I heard? What the hell is going on? What's this? What's that? Right? And so there's the situation. Your entire team thinks that these people are the leaders, right? They buy into the Dave and Dave. We buy into Dave and Dave. They have integrity. They've never screwed us, ever. Why are million-dollar earners, multiple seven-figure dollar earners with Empower and outside of Empower, very talented people, right? Why are they still with Empower when usually leaders come in, blast their list, make their money the first 90 days, and bail out? You see that on Facebook all day long, right? Oh, did you join Empower last 5 minutes? Are you not rich yet? Oh, I can help you. Join my 17,000 freaking deals over here, right? And even though you haven't learned yet how to build one, I'm going to automatically show you how to build 53,000, right? Come over here. Bite this apple, Snow White, right? All this crap. And you get that all the time. That's just the way it is. No big deal. I ain't mad at them. They're my buddies. That's how they roll. But imagine that thing happening, and then the people that are endorsing or you think are running this call for the company take your entire team. So the entire team now thinks, cool, we're all going over there. And if that's your only income, I'm just going to be real with you guys. Can we be real, Alex? We've been real enough with them. Let's keep it real. Absolutely. When your children's food and your mortgage and your car note and everything is riding on that stupid program, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that you've been swindled and your entire team is going to be taken to some $5 stupidity, sometimes, depending on what you've been partying with, you got to roll with the punches. And you got to hop on that surfboard and ride that wave, if anything, just to save a little face, to try and help your team, and to pay the bills while you figure stuff out. Internet marketing pre-historical ages, pre-Empower Network, was a freaking jungle, man. And you can be sailing high one day and the very next morning wake up to no company, no program. Been there too. 2008, that happened to me. $1,500 per day. Again, another solid 10 months of running my ass off, grinding on the phone, doing everything that I had to do to build a base of momentum and a team that trusted me. And then all of a sudden, I'm in Orlando at an event at the bar with, who was there? Mike Hobbs, Mark Hoverson, some other industry cats. You know, and a couple of us are there, and we're celebrating that we're doing so well in this other little money game thing. And then somebody comes up to us at the bar after a couple of mojitos in Florida. Humid as hell, mosquitoes everywhere. So I couldn't even run outside to throw up. I had to act like I was cool, like all guru'd out, right? And they told me, did you hear XYZ company just got, you know, shut down by the feds or whatever, and they're gone? You know, and I was just talking how I built this thing up to $1,500 a day. We had a website with SEO that looked exactly like theirs, and we were doing everything right. And we had training and systems and kind of like a prosperity team mini-me, you know, of what we have here at Empower. And people love that when you're trying to take care of them. And all of a sudden, just like that, over a drink in Orlando, $1,500 a day. Bye-bye. What was the most painful about that shenanigan is that I had just withdrew some money. And they had sent me a check, and I received the check like 2 or 3 days later after the plane landed from that event. I go back home, kicking rocks, head down, you know, damn, again? Really? You know, here we go. We got the skills. We can build a team. We can train a team, but the programs keep failing, right? What the hell's going on? So I'm just trying to tell these stories so that you can kind of get to know why we appreciate and we're so humbled by the stability and the freaking beast mode that Empower Network is sitting on right now. This platform, I want you guys to know, this platform is worth more than Tracy Walker, Justin Berengia, Lawrence Tam, and Vic Streishaus, and Tony Rush, and Aaron Rashkin's checks monthly put together combined right now. The foundation we're sitting on is worth more in real future financial value than their whole income today. That's why I'm so grateful. That's why I can, with 2 days' notice, pick up my wife, pick up my 6-year-old, call Grandma and an aunt and say, you guys are getting paid more money than your job pays you for looking after my princess for 7 days. You're going to make double the money that your job paid you last week, and you, Grandma, are going to get paid more than what your day job pays you this week. Call in sick, you're taking care of my kid, and I'm paying you double what your employer pays you. And it's going to be with your granddaughter. And they had to split the week because, this and that or whatever. So an aunt for a couple of days, and in my home. Anybody here, raise your hand if you have a soon-to-be 2-year-old. There's a huge difference in energy and behavior if they're being taken care of in their home, where they have a little routine, they have the little crown on, their queen, their king, and they know where their toys are, they know where the food, they can walk Grandma to the fridge and say, damn it, Grandma, I want that, and Mommy doesn't let me have that, so I want 2 of those, right? And it's their kingdom, versus taking them and warehousing them in daycare, or warehousing them in the public school system, or warehousing them at some babysitters that they're not comfortable for 7 days. You want to escape to the movies for a couple of hours one night, that's okay. 7 days, that starts wearing, and then you have the behavioral changes and all kinds of stuff, right? So, that's what's going on. So I keep her in her environment. She had, because they were sending us Facebook messages and text and pictures of her and all of her little antics. She was going into the drawers and having a field day. She was tossing her sister's clothes out. She was putting her toys in, closing the drawers. She was having a good time. They were sending us pictures of her day and night. She was having a great time. And that much we can remember, it was the best time that she's ever spent within her own energy. Totally cool for 7 days. And then Valerie. Well, we decided to make a family decision. The beginning of September, I actually took her to the first 2 days of school, first grade, public school system. And I say this with 1,000% love to all of the families that are on this hangout right now with kids in public school that have to get up and go to work every day. I did it. I've got a 21-year-old in university right now. She did great through public school system. However, Dad was absent 97% of her life. And I'm still working right now to build some kind of a relationship with her as an adult because I lost so much playing the corporate rat race. Did I put food on the table and pay the bills? I could play the 1940s routine and say, I put food on the table, I was a working man, and, God bless him, but back then there really wasn't other options. And that's the kind of the Generation X. I went through that with my first daughter. So the reason that I'm going to tell the story I'm about to tell you right now is because I went through that and lost an entire relationship with my oldest daughter. I still kind of have to work hard to rebuild that thing because I was such an ass, right? Because I thought corporate world was it, and I didn't think I have any other options, and I wasn't there from sun up to Sandman. Right? And it's reality, and that's okay. But here's my story, and I only tell it because it's a picture of what's possible for you guys. It's just something that's possible. It's a potential that we've made real so it can be real for other people. And the only reason it became real for us is because it was real to other leaders that we follow, and we network with great people, and they told us how they did it, how to get there, and we did. So anyway, I take her earlier this month to the first day of school, right? And if anybody knows anything about me, I'm kind of anti-authority. Yeah, I don't do well in a lot of heavy authority. It's probably a lot of it is just my fault or whatever, but hey, you turn your mess into your message, right? You turn your weakness into your strength. So I'm weak with authority, which makes me a strong entrepreneur, and I'm free now. So just kind of count your weaknesses as strengths sometimes. It can be all right. It just depends how you play with it. So I take her into this thing, and the first day of school, I was right there the whole time. And what I saw, in my mindset, I saw, wow, they're really laying on the, I mean, they were programming for submission from day one. You have to be on this line. You have to be in this spot. You have to turn here when I say to turn here. You have to put your jacket over there. And it was like and her kindergarten teacher was awesome, I thought. She was awesome. The first grade teacher, right away I saw hints a little bit of like Adolf Hitler in this lady, right? She was so bent on just owning them and the parents. It was kind of like she was telling us, thank you for bringing your daughter to school today. Now, I just want to let you know from this day henceforth, she belongs to me, and you, sir, will do as I say. Right? And I just got that vibe, man. I got that vibe. That was day one. I couldn't pinpoint anything. I was like, well, I'm a rebel. It was probably the Bob Marley shirt with the Santana bandana. I don't know what it was that tipped this. I was looking like, I had sandals. Everybody else is dressed like they're going to the rat race, right? They looked stressed. They had their coffee mug, their big venti coffees, and they looked like they were in a hurry to hit the freeway so they wouldn't get fired from work taking their kids to school on the first day of school. Me, I'm laid back, and as they're leaving and rushing out, I'm kicking back in the back of the class going, what you got, teach? What's going on here? And so anyway, I got a bad vibe, went home. The next day, and this is kind of, what did it for me. The next day, Valerie was doing a little reading work the night before and stuff, and so she goes to sleep and stuff or whatever. And you know how schools do. You put kids around kids, and little stuff starts traveling. And stuff had started traveling from, I think it was the waiting room at the gym, the kids' room at the gym. She started picking something up. So Tuesday, she doesn't want to get up out of bed that early, right? 6-year-old, she just spent the whole summer kicking it with dad on dad's time, waking up when nature told her to wake up, ebbing and flowing with the tides and the moon and the sun, and it's all tuned into when your body tells you you're hungry, eat. When your body tells you you're sleepy, sleep. When your body says it's okay to wake up, man, we're free, right? We ain't got nowhere to go. We ain't got no alarm clocks. We ain't got no slave drivers. And so she had been on that mode, right, all summer, because it's not a year-round thing. That morning, it really hurt my heart because Mom, and she was doing a damn good job, but Mom, is getting her up for school. And I'm lounging. I started blogging and doing my emailing for the day, and I was in my home office. And I overhear that she's having trouble getting up on time. And it's early, man. It's early, And so I go over there, and so already that started. And then, we get down to the school and this and that, and the teacher's just on one again. And I'm like, you know what? The way they were teaching them, what they were bringing home from the first day already, there was a couple of conversations. I asked specific questions to my children. They reply in full honesty, and I didn't like the replies. And I'm like, you know what? What the hell am I doing? Right? It's time. We're okay. So, bam, I take her out of school, and I start the Simple Freedom homeschool, private school that day, that morning. I go online. I catch up with my Empower Network homeschooling buddies, parents. They tell me what the thing is about California, and I go to the websites, and I fill in the paperwork like this. In less than 1 hour, I established a private Simple Freedom homeschool with my one prized student, Valerie Gonzalez. And on the waiting list is Sammy Gonzalez. She's 2. In November. Principal is Franco Gonzalez, thank you very much. Guidance counselor and head teacher is Pammy Gonzalez, and that's Mom, right? So we set that up. When you do that, schooling never stops. Schooling never stops. We were only able to do that because we're home. You can't start a home school if you're not home, right? And so now that this vacation came up, we got 2 days' notice. I'm flying on the internet getting the birthday thing and this and that and the bar at the beach and all this stuff, and I didn't even think about it. It's like, you know what? Grab her curriculum, put it in the bag, and we're teaching on the plane, we're teaching on the beach, we're teaching in paradise, we're teaching on the water slide, we're teaching her about all kinds of stuff. She met friends. She met a friend at Burros Bar on the beach. We're having mojitos. She's playing on the beach with a little lunch pail and stuff. And there was a girl out there, Canadian girl, Canada Rocks, Canadian girls from Montreal, working for the local newspaper in Puerto Vallarta. She knows French fluently, of course, Montreal. She owns Spanish fluently and English. And she's got her dog, and they're playing with the stick and throwing the stick, and Valerie starts playing with her. She starts teaching her French, and don't you know, Valerie's been learning French from some of the websites and the curriculum and stuff that we have for her. So they start conversing, and guys, here's the thing. When you're free, you can do whatever the hell damn you please. That's it. And if you're a good person and you want to give your kids the best education, you're going to do it. And you don't need a credential. You don't need, what society teaches you that you need. You don't need a real job. You need money. And the only reason you need money is because you need time to be there without stress about money. So we're homeschooling her, so we get up with our 6-year-old and we go. We just travel the world. We were there for 7 days. Here's where the story gets really good. This happens every single freaking time we travel. You can check with Pammy right now. She doesn't know. She's probably on this hangout. Go to her Facebook and in public call me out on this. Every single time we travel, we make more money than we do most weeks that we're at home working the business, right? It just happens. And so we travel, and then on the day that we're traveling, PBA, Empower Network, Prosperity Team, a PBA closes a master's sale for us. That's a $3,000 commission on the day that we're traveling, right? And then while we're on the bird, we get there, and then we have no internet until we get to the hotel. Bam, another $1,500 came in that day, right? And then through the week, the next day, another master's sale. Right? All I'm doing is I'm showing people what we're doing in our life, right? What's the secret, Franco? What's your marketing secret? I built a life by working my ass off and employing leverage and getting my ass kicked in some bad programs. Let me go back to the story of how a program fails. So I started this stupid program. We were all going in, guys, and this dude is taking all of our teams, and I'm like, oh, hell no, where are they going? And I happen to know one of the guys that was coding the new website that they were all running into. They had problems with the original one, so they didn't go into the $5 money game. They wanted to create a $10 money game. And I'm like, oh, you got to be freaking kidding me. Who's behind it? Who's making the product? Oh, there is no product. Who's creating the system? Well, so-and-so, JL. Alex knows. And so I'm like, really? Okay, I know him. He's my dog. Let me give him a call. Dude, so you're making a website and a comp plan, you're taking all of our team, right, without notice, and you don't have a product. Am I right? And he just LOL. He just laughs his ass off. He goes, yeah, dude, I was wondering when you would call. Would you like to create our products? Would you like to be a part owner? And I'm like, who owns the money? Who's the guy with the money? Who's the merchant account? Because oftentimes that's the most important thing. The minute he told me it's a partnership, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Alex knows what I'm talking about. And so there was one guy that owned the merchant account, your money, right, future money. There's a guy that was coding the system, and then there was no product. Great. So I go in and I go, because I knew all my team was already being hyped up to go in it, and I knew they were going to go in there. I'm like, well, okay, guys, I'll create the product, but if I'm going to be behind the product, it's got to be my product. It's got to be quality, and you got to let me create it and just shut up about that, or else you're going to get shut down and yada yada. So they let me create the and in my opinion, it was some of the best damn internet marketing educational products since Empower Network, right? And that's it, and that's all. So we start rolling. Here's why the program folded. We had $1 million launch first month. Everybody likes hype, and everybody likes a program where you're going to get educated and you're going to make money. So then we found out the weakness that kind of Empower ran into, the weakness when you have a coder, and that's it, just a guy that's good at designing a website but has no clue about real infrastructure to handle heavy traffic, right? So that goes down the tubes. But we made that happen. And then like a month, or not even a month, right, Alex? Like a month and a half later, we're making money, $1 million launch, everything is rolling, we're starting to build culture, everybody's kind of vibing with the energy, and it was a good thing. It was the talk of the internet for a while. What happened? Well, when you have a lazy person working with an obsessive compulsive workaholic person with another person that nobody knows, right? And the lazy person has all the money and gets really lazy, and he's all kind of got a shady background, they tend to start having cat fights. So the partners start having cat fights. And here I felt like Mills Lane, the famous referee, you know, like, hey guys, go back to the neutral corner. Hey, we got a lot of money here, a lot of people here we need to take care of. When nobody cares about taking care of the members, and everybody's looking out for their own ass, you have trouble in the making. And that's why you won't hear it this way, but that's why so many programs that coulda, shoulda, woulda been have never been. They never last because of egos. And so that roundabout story to let you know why I'm really here at Empower, why we're all here, why all of our leaders are still here, why we paid over $70 million and we're getting ready to pre-launch into a relaunch of the biggest launch that the internet has seen. And now we have stable infrastructure, we have banks that want to kiss our butt up and down, right? Now everybody wants to give us merchant accounts, right? Everybody wants to lower our fees, everybody wants a piece of our business because we've been out for 2 years, our leaders have not left, our members are still here, we're still paying, we've never, ever, ever missed a nanosecond of a payday, like clockwork. People like Alex have come in here from ground zero with a full-time job, and they've been able to retire. Not only retire, but this guy's probably making more than a CEO was. This guy's cranking. He made $30,000 seem like welfare. I'm just saying. He made $30,000 a month. You should have seen him at the events. Oh, he looks all happy and stuff on camera. At the events, he was like, man, I'm stuck, man. $30,000 a month. How do I get unstuck before my wife leaves me, man? $30,000 a month. You know, so I mean, this guy's like blasting towards $50,000, $60,000. You're going to be at $100,000 a month before the year is out, Alex, and he knows it, right? But here's the magic: he's going to have six-figure earning monthly teammates right behind him, because it's something all of us here on this panel, we didn't freaking have a clue about how this comp plan works. All we did is we just put our head down and did whatever we had to do to try and battle to getting 1 customer a day, and then try to battle to getting 2 customers a day. 1 customer a day, 2 customers a day. We never knew what Dave Wood was really saying when he said, guys, trust me. That's all you got to do. Not 1 all-in sale a day, right? Focus on 1. Because that's what I thought. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 1 all-in sale a day. How am I going to make money on a $25 product? Well, here it is, 21 months later, right? Starting to travel the globe and not care about making more money the week that I was on vacation than when I do sometimes when I'm home. Because I'm showing people what's possible, and I'm just telling them, guys, it starts with a $25 deal. And then these PBAs on the Prosperity team keep closing sales, don't you know, for me. I haven't even given them permission to close more sales. They're like, F you, dude, we're going to close more for you because we want to get paid. We want you to get paid a lot so we can make a little. And it just keeps going and going. It's outside of my control now, right? So during the week that we're there, we made 3 Masters sales, 3 15K sales, 2 500 Costa Ricas. And my back office we built a team, right? So we have multiple hundreds and multiple $25 sales being generated and regenerated every month. And they will tell you, I'm not the biggest recruiter on this team. I'm on the low end. Like me and Christina are like, how are these dudes doing it, right? But we have high, let me tell you the most important thing to me, right? High lifetime customer value. Guys, because of the Prosperity Team infrastructure, the PBAs, all of the benefits people get as they choose to upgrade, right? It's not about how much money you make up front. Your fortune is on customers that love you and love to buy from who we are. They love to make repeat purchases, and they buy more and more and more because they want to, because there's reasons, there's a ton of value that we give them. If somebody spends $500 with us, they know they've just received $3,000 worth of value, right? And I can speak for Prosperity Team and Empower Network. We massively over-deliver value, and people know that. And that's where your fortune is. So while we're out there frolicking around like a fool in tropical beaches, PBAs are working for us. The emails are going out. I'm swiping Aaron Rashkin stuff. I'm throwing it out to my list. I'm bopping by on Facebook once or twice a day. And now we've got multiple 25s, multiple hundreds. In fact, while I was on vacation, we did a little bit of math. And in the hotel room, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were like totally humbled and totally like in awe of what was happening while we were on vacation. And we said, well, let's just tally up what our residual income grew by. Monthly residual income went up in day 4 of our vacation. It had already gone up monthly by $400 a month. Now, as some of you corporate executives, you're like, whatever, I clock in and make $400. That's true, but you got to clock in, right? I mean, I'm out at the beach, and let's talk about normal, average, because I was, American family. $400 a month in brand new residual income to any family in this planet, in this economy right now, that pays an insurance payment. It pays a car note. It could be the difference between private school, public school. It could be the difference between public school and homeschool for your children. It could be the difference between taking your wife to a tropical place. Why? Because it's her birthday, and so what? Right? Hey, Grandma, let me pay you $400 this week to take care of my child, right? My income grew by $400 in the past 4 days monthly, right? It's huge, guys. That's huge, and we do that with a $25 price point. And I'll end it with this, because this is my favorite part. I've been teaching people forever marketing. Out here in Carlsbad, they have this store called Carlsbad Pipelines, right? And why I love this analogy is that this is what we teach you how to do. We teach you how to build a pipeline where people are always coming into your marketing system to gather information at the beginning of the relationship. They don't trust you. They don't know what it's all about. They just want some information. You guide them to your Facebook. You guide them to these Hangouts. You guide them to the video, to the website, and you send them follow-up emails every day to let them know, I'm here, man. If you have any problems, any questions, any concerns, I'm on Facebook all day long. That's the best place to get information. Why do I do that? Because I don't have to worry if they got my email. Right? I still send out my email, but if I educate them in every single piece of email or communication to find me on Facebook for all of the current bonuses and updates, that's how you guys are going to name it, right? Make sure you follow me on Facebook for all of the free bonuses and training updates. That's how you're going to teach them. And then they're going to get educated on checking you out daily, twice a day on Facebook to see what's going on. They never miss your communication. Because I've been able to do that, people come into the beginning of my pipeline and start hanging out with us. Emails, videos, Facebook, Hangouts, right? Then they get to the middle where they've been to a couple of Empower Hour calls, right? They're kind of jiving or they're not. Remember, our system is made to close sales for you on its own. Our system is all, please remember this because everybody forgets about this part. Our system is not built to make everybody fall in love with us. In fact, one of the biggest jobs and why we're so successful as a company, Empower Network and Prosperity Team, is precisely because we understand the #1 job of our system is to identify those that will not do well with us, the kind of people we do not want to work with. because they're not right for this. They're too negative. They're too cynical. They're too blah, blah, blah. They start rumors. They try to pick into your team and steal them to other deals. And, that kind of person will not last with us. So our system is specifically designed to repel them as soon as possible. Sometimes they hang out for a couple of weeks with us, trying to steal our mojo. But eventually, our system repels the wrong kind of person. So those of you in the chat, be of good cheer. Don't worry. If you're marketing and people are coming in, then for whatever reason they don't like that we wear sandals at our events because it's a tradition, right? They don't like that we say wussy or badass. They're offended at the word wussy. I can guarantee you at the water cooler at work, when they're not pulling their weight, they hear far stronger words. All right? So their kids are watching movies with them right now that are a lot worse than saying, you love your family? Then don't be a wussy. Click on the button and get in. So it's part of our brand, it's part of our personality, and it's part of that system that attracts the right person and repels the boring people. I mean, hey, we don't want to work with wussies, man. And if the word wussy offends people, they're a wussy. Bye. Go jump into some other program, some of those that failed for us, right? So that's kind of it. And then at the end of the pipeline, because we do what we do, the system, the pipeline, starts collecting your sales right here. And don't you know, we're a lot sexier than that. You see one pipeline, the $25 get your ass in pipeline before you even know what's going on. I'm going to teach you what's going on, right? But just get in, the $25 pipeline. But there's invisible pipelines after that, one after another, after another, after another pipelines. They're called the Inner Circle, the Costa Rica, the 15K, the live events, and the Masters. And don't you know, those also repel the wrong people. It's cool, right? We have customers that just want to use our blogging platform or maybe just the 15K formula, and they're building a yoga practice. That's all they need. That's all they want. I love my customers. I got a bunch of customers. We also attract people that are nuts, like me, that kind of see the vision and see, holy shit, if it was that simple, I'm not going to say easy, but if it was that simple to get a $25 sale that later wants to become an all-in member because they love the brand, they want to wear our t-shirts, and kind of like a rock concert at our events. They just want to be all in. There's always people that want to be all in. Every concert you go to, there's the groupies, the all-in guys that go to every single concert. They've listened to the same songs for the past 25 years, but live is different. And they'll continue to go. Tony Robbins. There's people that have been to all of his seminars for the past 20 years, and they keep going. Why? Because it becomes a badge of honor, right? I went to a Jim Rohn event not too long ago, Alex, a couple of years ago, and this guy, I was still in real estate, and my broker, right, was competing with this other guy that he was like 2 rows in front of us, a competing real estate firm too. So we were already at each other's throat, same neighborhood, marketing real estate. And their broker starts saying, I have the oldest Jim Rohn leather journal in this entire place. And then my broker goes, no, you don't. We do at San Fernando Realty. I've got the oldest journal. Do you have it dated? Did Jim Rohn sign it? Right? These are 2 grown millionaires fighting about who's been to more Jim Rohn events when Jim was still around. Rest in peace. But so they start comparing the dates on the autographs on the inside of their journals, both more than 20 years old, right? You're going to have that in a real brand. Empower Network has become a real brand. There's going to be people like Alex and Scott and Darren and myself and all our other leaders and teammates at Prosperity Team. We will be comparing down to the minute who was in the stinky hotel room and who walked in first before Chris Darty and before here, and do you have proof? Where's your Facebook timeline? They're going to be going back with their great-grandkids, checking on their Facebook freaking timeline to see who got in first, right, in their merchant account too. So it's just that kind of brand, and the good thing is we haven't even gotten started. That fight is still going to be going on with people that join us 5 years down the road, because that'll just be 5 years plus 2 is 7 years. That's nothing. We're going to be around 30, 40, 50 years. So in 21 months, I've had the opportunity to really unplug from the grind, right? I don't have to be anybody's guru. I don't have to go out there and work, 17,000 programs if I don't want to. I do what I want, and I focus where I want. And a lot of times people get lost on the word focus because we have shiny balls and then we have focus. And it's like everybody here has an autoresponder. So technically we've got shiny ball syndrome on the prosperity team, right? You're either using GetResponse or Aweber or Pure Leverage, GVO, whatever, right? Here's my take on this whole shiny ball focus thing. Focus on your why. Focus on your children. Focus on why you're here, what you're trying to build. If your kids are grown, grandkids, if your kids and your grandkids are grown, freedom, right? A real retirement, whatever. Call it life. Why end your life and walk into this retirement where they want to warehouse you in some daycare center for old folks? Screw that, man. Go to the beach, right? Go surfing. So do you have the time? Do you own your time? Focus on your why, and then focus on the fundamentals of marketing that we teach here. And it doesn't matter what else you do. You'll be doing it better. Now, having said that, for all my shiny ball guys and gals out there that like shiny balls, right? Can't piss anyone off. It's all good. But if you want to build a $50,000 a month Empower residual income, if you want to build $100,000 a month, and if you really have a vision to build a real corporation, a real gigantic stream of freedom, and be able to impact people and teach them how to build the same thing, there's a specific way that you will see the people here at Empower Network. And the wonderful thing I like about the way we do things, Scott, is that there's nobody at Empower Network that can fake the funk, right? Because Dave Wood doesn't give a shit. He'll be on an Empower call and he'll tell you in public whether you're making $500 a year or $500 a second. And because we want to be truthful. It's like I have tons of teammates. In fact, up on the freeway right now, probably about to get here, is my man Armand Bright on the team. He's coming up with Man Up Marvin, and we got Don Mars Ortiz coming up, and we're here in San Diego. I'm in a hotel room by the beach, and we're just going to workshop because we're on beast mode. And we're just going to lay down some stuff so everybody's rolling in the same freaking semi-truck, and we're just beast moding it down the road, right, for this launch. And so we as a little team in Southern California, but guess what I'm telling my team? All you got to do, put me up and feed me, and I will go to your town. Lock in with some other teammates that we have in any city, and we'll come to you, right? We're just doing it. Why not, right? Within reason. So we're going to do that here. But don't you know, Armand Bright, and I want to put him on stage right now because he's on the freeway heading up, just got off of his job. But here's why that's special to me. And the first day I had the opportunity to get back from vacation, I hop on a train and come down the coast to his neck of the woods because this is the first time in 5 years that we've been able to work together, me and Armand, that he's actually built enough stability that he fired boss number 2, right? He just fired, he had 2 full-time fucking jobs, guys. 2 full-time jobs. The guy's got a wife that every couple of days she has to get reintroduced to the guy, right? 2 full-time jobs in an OR. Anesthesia. This guy's the guy that, that makes sure that you die for all intents and purposes so you can have your surgery and then brings you back to life. The guy's got God-given skills. He kills you and he brings you back, right? But having 2 full-time jobs can get kind of stressful. I wouldn't want to be the guy to volunteer to have him on his second shift at the end do my surgery. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to fall asleep, and then I stay sleeping. So we were able to work, and we've been working for years, man. But Empower Network is the only place that has really allowed him on a very part-time schedule. Advertising, paid traffic, he doesn't have the time to mess around like a lot of us do. Like, we're twiddling around on Facebook and making friends all day long. We're full-time. We can do it. We can do whatever we want. But he had to really take a certain track. But I'm here to tell you in the chat room, you guys right now, we've been able to do it with Alex Zubarov. And now we've been able to do it with a guy that had 2 full-time jobs. And he just kicked one boss to the curb. And he is 1 event cycle away from firing his other job and hiring himself full-time. And if you can build to where you can afford to fire 2 jobs very part-time, what kind of shenanigans do you think this guy's going to be doing? What's he going to do full time for Empower, right? If he can build it on like a half hour of work a day that he's been building it now, can you imagine what an asset he's going to be to his team? So we think longer term than just our own paycheck. He's frontline to me. We got people retiring from their bosses that are 2 and 3 tiers down, right? Where I don't give a shit if I make a penny from them. I want to set a record for how many people we can legitimately free. Because the rest of the industry talks about doing that, but they don't fucking do it. They don't do it. They don't. Go prove me wrong. They don't do it. The same 3 people are the only retired people, and they were retired when they launched the damn game. So that's what happens. I've never seen it happen as much as it's happening here at Empower. So with that, guys, from San Diego on the beach, tomorrow I'll be on the beach again. I'll be back up to LA, probably going up to San Francisco. I'm a Bohemian Rhapsody kind of beatnik. I'm on trains, planes, and automobiles. I'm setting people free, man, because that's what we do. And because that's what I can do. So if I want to do it and I can, I'm going to keep doing it. So that's Prosperity Team, guys. That's what is the product? That's the product. The product is your freedom. We got widgets. We got the best freaking products in whatever, right? If you're a product person, you're going to learn the best internet marketing skill sets that you've ever learned. That's our product. Kind of like ITT Tech, right? Kaplan, University of Phoenix. Go to University of Phoenix because I'm an alumni. I got my business administration degree with a minor in marketing. That ain't worth the shit, but I paid. Now somebody asked me in the chat, if any University of Phoenix alumni in the chat room, tell the people how much it cost us to get a bachelor's degree going at night at University of Phoenix. Unless they changed their prices, I was a cash-paying student. It cost $1,000 per class. How many, because I lost track too, how many credits does it take to get a bachelor's? Because the Navy, when I was in the military, they only gave me like a couple of tequila shots worth of credits, right? I had to build everything. It sounded like I was going to get a lot, but when the university saw, they go, nah, dude, drinking at the enlisted club is not 3 units. You drank 3 shots. You didn't get 3 units, right? So I had to be $1,000 a class. How many classes does it take to get a bachelor's degree? That's how much I paid. You can join this school of freedom for it's a joke how much you can join. And I'm talking the all in. It's a joke at all in. It's a joke. Don't talk to me about $25. I don't even want to hear it. Your freedom doesn't matter to you. Or you don't believe in it. Or you don't believe in you. Right? Now, if you humble yourself a little bit, if that's the case, if you don't believe in you, get away from your ego. I believe in you. I'm less than you. I'm even Steve, and I'm less than you, man. I was able to do it. I know you can do it, and that's why I can, with all my heart, I believe in you, probably more than you believe in yourself. And so, like a brother to sister, brother to brother, I can tell you, if you don't believe in yourself and you think that that's being meek and humble, it's not. It's being egotistical and arrogant. Because you're the most powerful freaking force this world has ever known. You're a miracle, and you're living and you're breathing. You owe it to your family, yourself, and your creator, whatever you believe in. You owe it to that force to be more, become more, and know that you are more. And we believe in you more than you probably believe in yourself. So give us a shot. It's $25. Give us a shot to prove you right or to prove you wrong. Either way, I guess you can say you win. Either way, right? So put it on us, man. I'm ready to free people. Scott, I'm on fire, buddy. It's all you.
Oh man, you're killing it, Franco. Wow, that was insane. And you know that there's so many different levels that you just touched on. You know, I mean, my brain. I don't know about you guys, but it's like, wow, holy cow! The amount of value, the stories, everything that you just dropped, brother. Holy cow! You know, it was fascinating. You know, everybody in the chat. Wow, this was insane. You know, Franco gets in his rare forms, and when he does, he delivers. And boy, He was like the postman today. He absolutely delivered. And one of the things that you touched on was the amount of people that you're able to set free. It's really cool. It's one thing for a person to be able to produce. Some people, you take a little bit of time and you're able to, you're able to learn some skills and then apply them and then produce yourself. And you can just grind and you can figure it out and force your way into making success. It's another thing to see another person be able to duplicate some of those efforts. And what's really fascinating is this is the first time in my entire career that I've actually seen more than myself and my team be able to be successful. Now that is what is really, really cool.
I remember, man, after some of the first couple events, the first event really, I remember meeting you. We didn't really meet formally, but you were with the Social Cowgirl, right? And so we knew each other from some other projects. And we were at the event, and I kind of saw. I was meeting a lot of people, but what I'm remembering right now is we were so beat to death with this industry. Wanting to trust, wanting to have faith, wanting to believe, but kind of being down that stupid road where they wouldn't work for whatever reason, And I think when I was meeting everyone there, Alex was there, Mike, Justin, you were there, and I got the biggest energy from you, but it was the same energy that I was getting from everyone at that very first Empower event. After day one, we were kind of walking around, and we were saying what needed to be said, and everyone's a hotshot internet marketer when you don't know each other, and it's the first live event we're ever at together, right? Yeah. But behind that, man, correct me if I'm wrong, but we were all kind of feeling an energy, kind of like, did I just witness what I just witnessed? Yeah. Is this really real? Did I just feel what I just felt? Did I just meet two freaking hippies that are going to create the movement we've all been waiting for and training for and jumping programs for to find? It was like this energy, kind of like we were kind of walking with a fog. Yeah. We were kind of like, dude, I don't want to drink too much of this energy because I've been here before and I don't want to get all into it, and then the stupid thing turns into a stupid thing again. But then so we were walking around with that energy, and after that event, after the second day at that event, the whole thing was different. Then we saw each other, and everybody was just lit in their own way, but everyone was just lit on fire, and they're like, we got some teeth here. We've been through a couple of challenges, but we kind of saw what we had. And I don't know, man, I just remember that energy right now from the first event. After the first day, kind of like Lost in Space look, kind of.
Oh, yeah, totally. I remember it was basically like that, and then I recall that it was like this ambiance that was in there, and I mean, you heard "Don't Be a Wussy" just rocking through the whole entire Orlando. What was it? The Orlando? What was the?
In Atlanta.
Yeah, sorry, it was Atlanta. The Omni in Atlanta. And I remember you could just hear "Don't be a wussy, don't be a wussy," just rocking through that whole thing, and it was electrifying. And then what was fascinating is the events just kept getting better and better and better, and Austin was like this unbelievable, almost like religious type experience where you were born again. And it was just insane. I mean, there was like this shockwave that just went, boom, just shot through the whole entire place, and every single person was completely transformed from that event. So the power of events, guys, is absolutely it's life-changing. And this whole industry and what we have here at the Empower Network, if you've experienced just a little bit of our energy, if you've experienced just a little bit of our passion, this is what being a part of a movement is like. This is what being a part of a team is like. And see, there was one point in my entire career, and every single person on here might be you in this situation where you've been down and out, you've tried so many deals, you've struggled and you've failed, you've struggled and you just don't know what to do. Well, the bottom line is you need to believe in yourself. But the first thing, and I'm going to get to my 9 principles here, which is basically going to encompass every single thing that every single person here has basically said. Because the bottom line, I've got rave reviews, you know, from these things, not to boast or anything like that, but I've had a lot of feedback on the 9 principles because it really, really encompasses a lot of everything, and pretty much everybody in here kind of touched a little bit on it. But, you know, when you have somebody else who believes in you first, that's where the true power begins. And you see, I told you I was pretty passionate about this stuff.
That's the awesome part, man. It's real.
When you can look somebody in the eye, tell them I believe in you, and you see them at an event, and they come up to you with tears in your eyes, and they flew around from half the corner of the world just to be able to shake your hand or give you a hug. That is power. And that is the ability that we have to do to change people's lives. And that's what you have the ability to do, because we lift you up to where when you're feeling down, all you have to do is just plug into something we got going on, and you can be lifted up just like that. You can change the state and the frame of your mind into the successful person that you were born to be. You just need somebody to believe in you like we believe in you. Because there was at one point somebody believed in me before I could even believe in myself. When I was 4 years ago, when I was flat broke down at $25 left in my bank account, that's when somebody said, Scott, you can do this. That's when somebody said to me, I believe in you. And when somebody that you respect and admire and have learned so much from pulls you aside and said, I believe in you, that's when you know that you found something. And that person to me many years ago was David Wood himself, who spoke life into me and continued to drill it into my head over and over and over and over again, because I lacked that much belief in myself before. And he's gotten on the phone with me for an hour and a half. Of course, now he's got a whole bunch of other things to do. But this was right before Empower, a little bit after Empower launched. He would spend an hour and a half on the phone with me, and sometimes we'd get off on tangents because we're both, you know, kind of ADD monsters at times. And we talk about nothing for hours, and then we turn around and talk about sales and all this stuff, and you know what we're planning on doing in the future and everything like that. And he believed in me before I could believe in myself. And so that's why I can transfer that feeling from what he gave to me. I can transfer that right into you, because I know how it feels to be there. Every single person on this hangout has been there. Every single person has been beat down. And what's fascinating, what I'm about to go through with my different principles that I'm going to be sharing with you here, this is where our experience, this is where our success, this is where our knowledge comes from. It's because of that pain. It's because we were down before we got up. And I'm telling you right now, when I start going through these principles and sharing with you, you're going to understand what you need to do, exactly what you need to do to succeed. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to start going through some of my principles. Now, I did this whole big, huge mental dump a while back, and somebody actually, you know, commented. It was a while ago when I did this, and somebody said that was the longest frickin' post I've ever seen. You know, and I was just, you know, sometimes, you know, Franco, Alex, you know, Darren, sometimes you get in the zone. Sometimes you just get in the zone and you just can't stop. So I'm gonna shorten it up as much as I can, because I know we've been just, you know, just delivering it tonight. But I'm going to just kind of shorten it up the best I can here. So the first thing you got to do is you have to decide. You have to decide. You have to decide that you're going to be successful, and that's it, period. Okay? And even if you sit here and you say that that you're going to think about it, or you're not really ready to take action now, you're still making a decision. You're making a decision not to do shit with your life. You're making a decision to put things off yet another day. You're still deciding if you decide not to. No matter what, tonight you're making a decision. And that depends on what decision that you're going to make, whether tomorrow you're going to wake up a new person or not, right? So the first thing is you got to decide. You have to decide what you want to do, and you have to decide right here and now that you're going to be successful no matter what, and you're going to do whatever it takes to get there, okay? The second thing is you need to find a mentor, okay? Because every single person that I've ever learned anything from, it wasn't from a book, it wasn't from any type of, educational type of course. The mentor pointed me in the right direction where I needed to go. Now the fascinating thing here is, if you look at, like a good analogy for this is like Mr. Miyagi, right? Everybody here remembers Karate Kid. The kid was getting beat up all the time, so he wanted to go in and he wanted to learn how to defend himself. So Mr. Miyagi, he taught him how to do everything. But how did he teach him? Here's the thing. How did he teach him? He didn't teach him, go up there and whoop-bam. He didn't teach any of that stuff, right? What did he teach him? Sand the floor. Wax on, wax off. Why did he teach him that? Because it didn't have anything to do with any of this stuff, right? He taught him the things that he knew was going to embed and implant things into his mind, into his subconscious, into who he was, so that he could react when he needed to, right? Sometimes some of the things that your mentor actually teaches you, you won't understand right now. That's not your job. Your job is to follow directions and do what they tell you. You'll figure it out, and you'll learn later when you're kicking the guy's ass on stage, right? That's the bottom line, right? So find a mentor, and the fascinating thing is we got so many mentors in this community of leaders, of leadership between Empower Network and between Prosperity Team. Your cup is overfloweth as far as mentorship and leadership. Okay, so now the next thing that leads me right into empty your cup. Okay, this is a Buddhist monk type of term that I actually learned from one of our fellow leaders right here in the Prosperity Team, Justin Varengia. I'm a guy, and I've done athletics most of my life. And when you start doing athletics, when you start doing sports, a lot of times you have to come to the game with a certain kind of ego. You got to come to the game with a certain kind of attitude. Otherwise, when you step on the court, I used to play basketball, and I would sit there and I would go and I would look at these 6'7" guys. I'm like 6 foot tall, right? I was starting varsity, when I was a sophomore in high school, and I was 5'4", okay? And I was a point guard. I was like, everybody was towering over me, okay? But did I have to go there with fear? I had to put a little bit of an attitude in my heart and an ego and step forward and be pushing these guys that are 6'7", towering over me, saying, I can stand up against you, mother. You have to come with a certain amount of attitude, right? Well, what ends up happening is you start developing this as a person that I struggled with for a long time. I started getting this attitude when I was walking around the courts. And there was that one time. Now I'm 6 foot tall, and about 5 years ago, I was able to dunk over 6'6" guys. Okay, so I had a little bit of an attitude and a little bit of an ego, and that also got me into a lot of trouble. Because I wouldn't back down to anybody, and everybody kind of got out of my way. The more I worked out, the bigger I got. Well, now let's switch this a little bit. Now this is sports, right? Now we're going into business, marketing. A little bit different game here. Now the same mental state, the same mentality of take action applies, but now it's not a physical game, it's your mind. It's mental. Totally different experience for me. And I wondered why it was that I struggled the past 10 years when I first got into this industry. It's because I didn't empty my cup. Gotta empty your cup. You have to be humble and willing to say, just empty your cup and just say, I don't know what to do. Fill me with what I should do. And, you know, the fascinating thing is we got everything right there in the prosperity system, right? We got everything right there inside of the prosperity team and all the Power Network products. If you're not all in, guys, figure out a way to get in. I did an all-in training on how to get all in within 7 days, even if you're broke, because I was. Okay? You do whatever you got to do with what you've got right now and go forward. That's how you do it. Okay? So if you're not familiar with that training, if you log into your back office of prosperity system, it's in the basic members area. It's right there. I've had countless people. I just was looking on Facebook today, and I saw a person send me a personal message that said, thank you so much for that training, Scott, because as of today, I just went all in, and I couldn't before.
Yeah.
So, you know, these are some of the things.
For the $25 members, right, Scott? They can get that training as soon as they go 25 member and join us. They have that training for free.
Exactly, for free. And these are some of the things that I've had to do, guys. You're talking about years and years of painful experiences that I had to go through, and I dump everything right into that training and just kind of go through it. So now the next thing, once you've emptied your cup and you're ready to go, you plug into a mastermind that's full of mentorship. Plug into a mastermind. And what's fascinating right here, a mastermind is a group of individuals who are all working toward a common end goal, right? Who are all marching basically in a movement. What are we doing right here? This is a mastermind. Sure, you're listening to all of us bark and yell and hoot and holler and all this stuff, but you look in the comment section. Every single person, you're not talking to yourself, you're chatting with everybody else. And we got so many different Facebook groups that are on Facebook. We got Skype chats. We got everything right here. We got calls. We got webinars. We got support. We got everything. And that rolls into the next secret. The next secret that is kind of like a part two of a mastermind is that mastermind has to have a system. Because here's the bottom line. When you start getting the success that we know that you're going to get, when you click on the button down below and you start and you get access to everything that we have available for you right now, there will be a point in time, and I actually had a conversation with somebody about this today, there will be a point in time where you have so many people that you can't train everybody. You can't help everybody. You can't teach everybody. See, if you're brand new and you got maybe nobody in your team right now, and then all of a sudden you'll get one, probably because of this Hangout and probably because you had followed directions through this whole thing. You're clicking on stuff in Facebook. You sent out the swipe copy that we spoon-fed you earlier today to send out to your list, and we actually gave you everything that you needed to be able to succeed, to be able to share this Hangout, invite tons of people on Facebook, and create an event, and we showed you in a video step-by-step because the system is there in place, because we were able to show you all that stuff. Now, you're able to start recruiting people. You're able to start making sales at the basic level, the Inner Circle Costa Rica, and all these different things. And when you're all in, you got your access to the PBAs. Okay. Now, once you actually were able to do all that stuff, now you're starting to get people in. Imagine trying to maintain just 20 people. I've heard the most that a single person could ever really handle is 30 people at a time. But that's not living life, guys. That's not freedom. How can Franco go on all these different vacations and make all this money?
You need a system.
How can Darren? How can Alex? How could I spend the entire day with my daughter? I think it was Monday. I spent the entire day with my daughter, and I made like $600. How could I do that?
You grind, even if you are a grinder because you came in as a corporate workaholic, so you just go here and you make 50 times the money. But your life will suck. Number one, because if you care about your people, in your heart, you can't serve them as good as you really would want to.
Exactly.
It's like, 5-minute deal here, gotta go, got another call, and you cannot serve them the way you want to serve them. So what we teach you how to do, what Scott's talking about, is our prosperity team system takes care of so much of that, and you don't have to disappear either. If you're a little bit of a control freak, I've taught my own team, for years and years, but what it gives you the ability to do is I scope out Scott's training, and I'm like, oh, yes. So now my video just says, dude, I can show you how to get all in. I know you're flat broken, busted. Check this out. Go over here, click this link, go study what my buddy Scott just did. Yep. You're a guidance counselor now, and if there's like a forte, like if you've got something that you can really speak on and teach on, like Darren is an expert copywriter, Alex can show you how to drive traffic, then we can spend our time, you can spend your time really developing video training content on that and not having to show 50,000 people how to log into their autoresponder one by one. That's where the system comes in, guys. So you can serve your team and your strength even better. And now we're all together. There's nothing that we leave out at that point. You've got experts teaching you everything.
Yep, exactly. And see, the bottom line is, and this is something that I actually learned from another person. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. Okay, because you can't be everywhere at one place and one time even if you're Superman, at one point in your career you will have what's called a bottleneck, and you're going to be standing in your own way. So you have to leverage a system. And what is it that we have here? We have a system. Prosperity system is totally badass. So now the next thing, once you decide, once you find a mentor, once you empty your cup, once you have that mastermind system in place, now it's time to take massive action. And my brother from another mother, Alex Zuberoff, before we actually got on here, he was actually joking around with me because I was kind of getting some feedback with everybody. And I almost forgot about this. I'm going to paste this in here real quick into the chat. I got so excited about sharing this stuff. It's not too late, so I'm going to paste this into the chat. Make some noise on Facebook. If you've enjoyed some of the stuff that I've actually said right now, I still got 4 more principles left. Okay? So I'm going to do a recap, send some people over here on Facebook, okay? Get some people out, and let's get some more people here because I'm not done yet. And I'm actually going to do this too right now as we're talking. So I'm going to paste this thing into my inbox here, and then I'll finish. I'll keep going with where I was.
And you know what's unbelievable too, Scott, is we started doing these Prosperity Team Hangouts just a few months ago, guys, and we started with a couple of hundred people. We're up over 2,000 people every week now. We started with a couple of hundred. We were newbies at the whole Hangout thing, but we didn't care. We just opened it up and we just started sharing, training, a lot of heart, inspiration, motivation. This is also a tool for you in your system. You don't have to learn how to do all this, right? But we close a shitload of sales with this thing. That's why we do it every week.
Right, and the whole thing about this whole Hangout right here and everything that has grown from the Prosperity is exactly what I've already started talking about, and that part is taking massive action, That's the part of taking massive action. And what I was basically going to drop here was Alex and I were sitting here joking around because I was coming up with what we were going to actually share, and I said, Alex, you got any principles? And he goes, yeah, bro, I got 2. Take massive action and don't fuck around.
I saw that, yeah.
And that's basically it, that's the biggest thing. A lot of people you get ready to get ready to get ready, and you think about what you need to do, and you try to make everything perfect. And I remember my first blog post I ever did took me 4 hours to do, and you know, you learn by screwing up, and you learn by breaking things. So from now on, from this point forward, if you're on this Hangout, I challenge you to break Facebook. I challenge you to break your blog. I challenge you to go out and try to fuck up YouTube, right? Start making some mistakes and take massive action, because that's the only way that I have been able to outproduce a lot of people, is because I just take more action than anybody else. You know, Alex, you can attest to this, right? Every single person on this call, on this Hangout, can attest to this. If you've had any amount of success, is because in the very beginning stages of your business, you took so much action that there was very little difference between when you were working and playing. I mean, everything. You're out. It's just like Franco, you know. I'm out. I'm doing this stuff. I'm shooting a video, and I'm including it with my, you know, while I'm out at the picnic. And now I'm coming down, and oh shoot, I'm gonna, you know, put this up to Facebook. And now I'm over here, and I'm gonna do a really quick video with my kids in the back, so everybody can see the social proof that I'm out here living my life and having fun. And then I'm gonna put that up to Facebook, and now I'm gonna shoot another video, and now I'm gonna put this up to YouTube, and now I'm gonna take that YouTube link, I'm going to embed it into my blog post, and so then now I'm going to send out an email, and now I'm going to take the swipe copy that was spoon-fed to me, and I'm going to put this over. You see what I mean? That's
Absolutely,
taking
man.
massive action, right? So you want to be in a state of always taking consistent massive action, and the next thing is you want to be consistent, you know. There's one thing to do where, you know, you can take a lot of massive action for a short period of time, and there will be a point in time where you can kind of, you know, back off a little bit, because you'll take enough action, you'll figure out what you're really good at. That's the whole thing, and that's going to lead into another principle that I've got here. The next two principles you're going to actually learn about that part right there, okay? And you have to be consistent, though. You have to give yourself enough time to take a lot of action, learn what you're really good at. Like Andy said, do what you love, because if you love doing what you're doing, you're never going to stop, and you're going to love doing it every single minute. And that, where if you have a strategy that you just absolutely love, say you get into the 15K formula, and you find one of those strategies in there, and you don't really know how to do it, but you got a kick out of doing it one time, freaking master that thing. Just dive in. If you cannot wait to get out of bed to do whatever strategy it is that you absolutely love to do, and even though you haven't gotten any results out of it, it doesn't matter, because pretty soon you will. If you stick with something long enough, and if it's in the back office and somebody's training on it, it has been proven to work. Do it. And if you love doing it, and if you have this fire where it's like, oh my gosh, I don't even have to wait for the alarm to go off, and I'm just up and ready, I'm shooting a video, or I'm writing email copy, or I'm studying this and doing this, if you have that passion, that fire in you, then that's exactly the strategy you need to do, and you need to master it, and just pound it and pound it and pound it, and work your craft as hard as you possibly can until you get to the point where you've got it so mastered that you can do it blindfolded, back, you know, with your hands tied behind your back, or you're eating Oreos and sucking down ding dongs if you want to. I don't care. I'm just in a flow right now, and sometimes stupid stuff like that comes to mind. But the biggest thing that you have to do is you just got to take that action and be consistent, and see if you take 90 days worth of action, like I just told you, you'll find out what you're good at, and then you'll just love doing it, to where every single day it's not work to you. Every single day you know exactly what you're going to do. You got your daily method of operation that you do on a consistent basis. And now you figured it out, because all of a sudden you got leads, you got sales, you're putting people into the funnel, and everything's just working, and it's going, and it's going. But it takes that initial decision to take massive action to get you going. And which rolls me into the next phase of this, guys. And this you actually learn in detail in the master's course. Okay? Accept the process. You have to accept where you're at. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and there was at one point in time every single person didn't know how to put a Cheerio on a spoon and put it into their mouth, right? But now you can eat like it's no tomorrow. Some people I know on the call, you might you might want to cut back a little bit, you know. I mean, we're all real, right? We're human, you know. And the bottom line is, at one point you didn't know your ass from a hole in the ground, and now you're very proficient at very many things that you actually take for granted in your life. You have more power than you really understand. There was at one point you didn't know how to tie your shoes. There's at one point, there's this funky box thing in the side of a wall, and it had a little doorknob thing on it. And oh my gosh, if you actually turn that thing and open it, you could walk through walls. Oh my gosh, you could actually walk through walls. Did you know that? No, because all your life you've been walking through doors. No big deal. But see, at one point in time, you didn't even know how to do that. And now look at you. You're able to drive cars. You're able to go to work if you still have a job. You're able to pay taxes. Everybody does that. You know, you're able to do a lot of things that everybody just in society and people in general just take for granted every single day. How about the person that can't walk? How many of us walk around and we don't appreciate the fact that we have two legs that we can stand on, right? You have more power than you really know. And you have more that you can do. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to take massive action, and you got to accept where you're at in the process, right? Because there might be something that you need to learn from what you're going through right now. Because I know right now, if I were to make the amount of money that I make today, if I were to make that 10 years ago, I probably, honestly, would be dead. Why? Because I was an irresponsible, jackass jerk who thought only of himself 10 years ago. There's a reason you're at where you're at right now, my friends. And you have to accept where you're at in order to move to that next level, to that next phase. And you have to go through certain things in your life. Some things are put in your life right now for a reason. I promise you. I promise you, there's certain things that are put in your life right now for a reason. You may not know why, but they're there for you to learn and go and grow from. And I promise you this too, if you make it through that, because you're listening to the Inner Circle audios, because you're plugging into all the stuff that we provide for you, because you've got one single vision and a focus on your freedom, because you're doing all those things, you are going to be on the other end of something so much more magnificent than you can ever possibly imagine. Because freedom is good. Freedom is great. Freedom is what we all deserve, and you absolutely deserve for. So the next thing, never quit. Never, ever quit. And I promised I was going to keep this short, so I'm going to speed this up here. I know we've kept everybody on.
No, take your time. Take your time. I got a surprise. Keep rolling.
Okay. So
yeah, I don't need to eat dinner or anything. It's okay.
Yeah, I haven't eaten either. I'm on fire. If you gotta go, you gotta go. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna finish.
Domino's, 30 minutes or it's free. Domino's.
That's right. This is how we do it here. This is how we roll. So
keep rolling, bro.
Never quit. Never, ever, ever quit. You know, there was something that was just fascinating. Happened to be when I was in 6th grade. I can remember. Actually, no, 7th grade. I can remember it to this day. My dad was one of my first big mentors, and you know, when I was growing up, I was pretty good in sports, right? Well, I was good at rat ball for a long time. It wasn't organized basketball. And so when we had this chance to actually play for an organized team, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I can shoot 3-pointers, I could dribble between my legs, I could do all this stuff. And so I was going to try out for the team. Well, I was pretty good. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to show my skills, right? I can't wait to show them what I can do. And then practice started, and I heard the two words I will never, or actually, it was a phrase I will never forget. Everybody on the line. And I'm like, everybody's like looking around, on the line, what are we doing? Well, they had us run what we call lines, or somebody calls them suicides. There's a lot of different phrases for this, but basically we ran our asses off and did defensive drills and all these different types of drills and everything. There were guys puking, there was everything. We ran our asses off and worked our bodies to the absolute ground at 7th grade, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, I didn't sign up for this shit. There's no fucking way I'm coming back tomorrow, you know? And these guys and everybody else was like almost feeling the same way, and I'm just like bending over, grabbing my shorts, you know, just trying to, you know, catch my breath and trying not to throw up myself, you know. And so I'm like, I can't do this. If this is all that it is, you know, I was sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I can picture me, you know, with the trophy and all this stuff, all the glory. Oh, hell no. We didn't even touch a freaking ball the whole entire night. And I'm like, what the hell? I did not sign up for this. So I go home, and my parents asked me, you know, how my first day of basketball practice was. And I told them, I'm not going back. We didn't even do anything. All we did was ran. There was guys puking. We were doing defensive drills, all this stuff. And I am not going back. You know, I quit. And my parents were shocked because they knew I absolutely loved basketball. I loved the game, right? And I was pretty darn good. And they were completely shocked that I would actually even consider quitting, because they didn't raise a son that quit. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't quit, you know? Sorry, I get a little passionate there. And so they didn't really say anything over dinner, but when I went to bed that night, my dad came in, and he said, he kneeled down beside me, and he said, Scott, I know that practice was probably pretty tough, huh? And I said, yeah. I mean, and I told him everything that they had us do. I mean, to where my legs were like feeling like they were going to collapse. My heart was just pounding so fast I could hardly feel. You know, I could hardly feel anything. It was like oversensitivity of a whole bunch of stuff, and I felt nauseated, and I mean, just all this different stuff. And my dad says, Scott, I know exactly what you're going through. He said, you know, in football practice, let me tell you what they had us do. And he started telling me the horror stories of guys bleeding and, you know, playing with broken bones and all these different things. And by the time he was done, I'm like, wow, my stuff kind of sounds like a cakewalk compared to what you went through in football practice, you know? And he said, I can promise you this, son. If you stick with it, it will be the greatest days of your life, and you'll learn so much from it. But I can also promise you this, too. If you quit now, you're going to be quitting for the rest of your life. And my son is not a quitter. So you cannot quit. And from that day forward, I learned something. I learned something about myself, because I went to the practice the next day, and I reached deep down inside and I pulled something out of myself that I didn't know that I had. Kind of like what a lot of you might be doing right now on this hangout. You might have found something inside of yourself from our stories, from our words, from everything that we've been talking about here. And you might have found something inside of yourself that you didn't know that you had. And as I finished out the rest of the week of basketball, you know, he was right. I learned so much from that day forward about sports, about myself, about everything else. So the point of that is never, ever quit, okay? Now, the final phase here, the final principle, write this down. This one takes a little bit of explaining, but you'll get it, okay? And it's a concept that I call the 3 U's, okay? So the number 3 and then YOUs, right? So the 3 U's. Now, what are the 3 U's? This is fascinating, okay? every single day in your life, at any point, at any given time, there are always more than just you. There are 3 different people that you have with you. There are 3 different yous, okay? There's the person who you aspire to be, the future you. There's the person who you are right now, the present you. And then there's the person who you're leaving behind, the past you, okay? Now, as you're going throughout your day, there are many different things that will come up, okay? This is where our inner circle absolutely is essential. This is where some of our products really come in key. This is where reading, personal development, all these different things. Because if you want to be a person who is making, you know, let's say $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month out here, the future you got to leave the stupid past person behind you, because this person had a different line of thinking than this person has. Right? In order to get out to making the amount of money that all these people on this hangout here, I mean, to be able to earn the amount of income that say Alex has, where he made, you know, $57,000 last month, right? In order to make that type of money, you have to think differently. Because if you've never made more, I mean, that's more than most people make in an entire year, okay? There's a certain thing that you have to know out here that you didn't know back here. So every single day in your life, you're going to have different things that come up. You're going to have a song. Okay, this is key here. Pay attention to this. You're going to have a song. You're going to have a sign. You're going to have something that reminds you of a time when you were back in grade school and that kid made fun of you for doing something. Now, where are you right now? You're thinking of something that happened in your past, right? Right. That's your past you, okay? That's the person we want to leave behind. Because, yes, there are some things we can learn from that person, but most of it that we're going to learn from is some of the mistakes. We're going to understand the mistakes, but a lot of those mistakes are going to be kept in your subconscious, right? We want to erase those bad things. So that's why we focus on the future you. That's why the inner circle is very important, right? The inner circle is going to be surrounding yourself with multiple 6- and 7-figure monthly earners. Well, not monthly earners. There's actually 6-figure monthly earners that are actually speaking to you directly in the inner circle. And did you know a fascinating thing? Your subconscious mind has no clue whether that person is right next to you, speaking directly to you, or if they're on a recording. Your subconscious can't tell a difference. And your subconscious mind was what told you what just happened back here when I just walked you through that process and you thought of that person back in kindergarten that just made fun of you, right? Now, how is it that I know that, and there's thousands of people on this right now, now how is it that I know that that could possibly even be true? It's because I've been there too, right? We've all been there. So there's always these 3 different yous. There's the future you, the present you, and the past you. Your job, if you want to get to the person who's making $20K a month, your job is to spend as much time as possible in the future you. Paint yourself into the picture of the person that you see yourself as and act as if you're already that person. There's a fascinating thing. I want everybody to walk through an exercise with me right now. If you kind of hunch your shoulders over, put your head down, and think to yourself that there's a gray sky. It's kind of gloomy. I don't know what's kind of happening tomorrow. Man, I got to go to work. I've got all these different things. Do you kind of feel something that's kind of happening? Now I want you to kind of raise back up. Now notice your posture right now. Okay? Notice your posture. How are you? How do you feel? There's so many things that happen with kinesthetics, with the body and the mind, that a lot of people don't understand. And this is a way that you can actually snap yourself into a better state. Okay? You notice my shoulders are a little bit forward, and I'm not thinking very good thoughts, right? You kind of don't feel all that good. Well, now let's snap this state. Now I want you to put your shoulders back, hold your head up high. Breathe in deep, and breathe out. Now, think of a time when you were, out in a beautiful scenery. One of your favorite shows was maybe playing in the background. You hear birds chirping. You see one of the best scenic views that you've ever seen or witnessed in your entire life. And you're in that scene right now. How do you feel? Your shoulders are back, your head's high. You feel good, right? Yeah. There's a fascinating thing that happens between your kinesthetics in your mind and your subconscious. And if you align all those in one place, you can start affecting how you feel on a daily basis. It was a fascinating thing because I remember when I was in a crappy relationship at one point in my life, and I was feeling all poor me, down on myself. And the guy said, Scott, he was a good friend of mine, and he just always was in a good mood. And he was just this carefree, charismatic type of guy. He was a lot of fun, and always the life of the party. And he said, Scott, I'm going to show you a trick. He said, shove your shoulders back, put your head held high, and smile. He said, okay, now take that smile and try to be in a bad mood. And it's fascinating how that worked. And so why I just kind of walk you through that is because as you're going about your day, you're going to have different challenges. This is life, guys. Shit happens, right? Now, it's like Jim Rohn said, it's not the wind, it's the setting of the sail, right? It's not the direction of the wind, it's the setting of the sail. I think that's what he said. I don't know. Sometimes my quotes just come out of left field and I don't even know. But he said something to that effect. And the bottom line, guys, is that you have power and you're in control. Now that you know that there's more than just one you, I mean, this kind of, for some people, this might be a stretch. I understand that. But this is some of the things that have helped me. And hopefully it can help you. So if you act as if you are that person that you want to be, the more that you're in that present person, that present you, the more you're going to start acting that way. The more your audience in your videos are going to start treating you that way, the more you're going to experience more results. And have you ever heard of the term success breeds success? Okay? That's one of the most powerful parts of this whole equation, is understanding that person out there can be you, and it is you. Your job is to be around enough people, plug into the right mastermind, intent, button down below, plug into the right mastermind that can guide you and get you there, right? So that, my friends, is basically what sums up all of the 9 principles that I've done to get to where I was way back. I mean, this is stuff that has, I mean, the past 15 years of my life, guys. I just summed that up in one night for you on how I've been to where I was to where I am now. And honestly, to be here and to have been able to affect this amount of people, it's been, you know, one of my dreams and goals was to effectively be able to inspire and be able to create change in the lives of other people. And so many of you guys have allowed me to be able to do that. And I hope that tonight has kind of breaking through some of the barriers that you might have had, and you might start getting into a better position and start taking a lot more action than you did today. You're going to start taking more action tomorrow. All right? So with that being said, go around. I mean, we're banging this thing up like 3 hours. I think we could pretty much call this thing a night. We've killed this thing, and I'm just going to wrap this thing up and tell every single person on here, get in now, because what I just basically laid out for you, it's all right here, right now, right? Everything is in the Prosperity system. Everything is in the Prosperity team. Everything is within Power Network. And what I just described to you is right on that red link down below.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, let me just do some Prosperity team style, man. We're down here in California. I just got back from Mexico on vacation, so I hopped on a train and came down because while I was away, I heard that one of our team members, and here, let me introduce you, man. This is Man Up Marvin. I got my San Diego contingent in the house. We're about to do some workshopping and some live coaching. I'm dropping some $1,000 coaching points on these guys, mano a mano in person, because my man Armand Bright right here from our San Diego team, Prosperity team, man, he's been working with me for, I don't know, three to 5 years, man, 5, 6 years, something like that, off and on the internet. 2 full-time jobs. Man, we've been through the ringer. We've tried everything. But we finally, with Empower Network and Prosperity Team, we were able to come together and just lock it and put it on lockdown. And this guy just fired boss number 1 this week. And to us here, that's special, man. That's freedom. Because next step is firing boss number 2.
Absolutely.
Bringing home mama, bringing home his wife, and just living that freedom life, man. And he did it because his team is rocking. Man Up Marvin over here. We got Action Jackson. Queen Tracy. Yeah, he's been knocking out master sales. The system is just working. And I just want to congratulate him and recognize him, man. It's been a lot of work, 2 full-time jobs and trying to get this game figured out. It doesn't just show up. So I just wanted to give him big-time recognition. Come down here in person, man, and do some coaching with him. That's how we roll. You produce, you work. We know you go through shit. We know life happens. Life happens to everyone. The quitters just go away. But the people that plug in and just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, tell them, man, it just starts to lock in and happen, right?
Absolutely. Plugging into the inner circle and understanding where you are currently right now in the situation and realizing that in order to better yourself, you have to put yourself among those eagles and be willing to fly, get pushed out the nest, and be able to go and realize you have wings and fly. And that happened as I started to plug into the inner circle and to have individuals around like Franco, to have Man Up Marvin, Action Jackson, Queen Tracy, our whole San Diego crew here. We go east to west coast. And just having everybody, I'm just so appreciative. So, Frank, I just want to say thank you, brother, right now. Appreciate you.
I told you it was going to happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I told you it was going to happen.
Yes, sir.
I told you, man.
One more to go.
And we're just getting started. But that's how we work, man. So I don't know what other social proof you have. We're a leadership factory here. I don't know where else you're going to go, but if you go anywhere else, you're not at the best place. I'm just going to leave it that way. I'll leave you guys with a couple of things, too. They're all-in members of Empower Network, and they have not missed an event. And they've been there with their family. However, I don't know how they got there. I don't know how they do it, but they've been at every event. They're all in. You can see they're on every hangout, and they're paying attention because I was on the train down today, and I'm saying, hey, guess where I'm headed today? I'm in Carlsbad. What you doing, big dog? And he flew up the freeway, man, and that's where we go to work. That's where I lay down foundations, and I'll go anywhere to work with teammates like this because that's what it's all about. Like-minded people. But that's what I want to bring from California, man. So we are dead heat ENV2 with the big Beast blog launch. So we're running, man. We're running Cali. You guys got to keep up.
That's right. Sweet. Well, there you have it. There's just, I mean, if that doesn't show you social proof, I don't know what does. So if you're brand new, if you haven't done anything yet, click on the link down below. Let's get started. Let's bring you home. Let's get you rocking and rolling. You're going to be hearing from a PBA or the person who referred you to this. You're going to be hearing from them very soon to walk you through the process and get you started. Welcome aboard. Bye-bye.
So you guys want to